It would
Yeah,
help.
I was wondering why. I was like, what did I miss? I only hit one button. There's something wrong. I didn't hit two buttons. So now I'm recording. No, I'm gonna do it again right
So you got
now.
a double button press.
I
Okay.
got dual button press, and now I'm talking over the theme song, but I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I
Because
mean that feels very similar to podcast, honestly, to be like talking over the theme song and shit.
well, he's gonna bit kill it, but he's good.
Yeah, I mean you got BKJ, man. You got BKJJ, the Junior, you know what I
Hey, license to view. We were talking already. The theme song was going. I have no idea how the level sounded. It could have been both at the same level, so it could have just been like screaming into
mean?
the earbuds. I have no idea.
I
So,
hope not.
license to view. I'm Jason. That's Zach. This is a pop culture podcast. We talk about
Yes.
movies, TV shows, anime, comic books, pro wrestling,
Yes.
toys, all that shit. So,
All that shit.
my story was, I'm wearing this Blockbuster shirt. I go to a really hipster pizzeria. I walk
Yeah.
in. There's three people working, and they
Mhm.
go, "Oh man!" And they're like my age. Like they're like
Yeah.
they're either my age or a little older than me, or a little bit younger than me, probably.
Hmm.
And they go, "Oh man, did you ever go to one of those?" And I'm like looking, I'm like thinking, like, do you not like? We're for sure like we graduated high
Yeah.
school for sure within a year, if not the
Yeah.
same fucking year. Like
Yeah.
it's a blockbuster. It dissolved in like what the year did blockbuster dissolve? 2011, 2010.
Uh, yeah, probably. I think you probably earlier. I'd probably say like 2008, 2009,
Let's see, 2010.
2010. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and there's one more blockbuster still in the country.
I saw it's like in Wisconsin or some shit like that.
It's Wisconsin or like
It's somewhere in the
Portland or
Midwest.
Oregon maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
And because they're making a documentary about it, it's called
Are they?
Blockbuster Bend. I follow it on Instagram.
Yeah,
Um,
I ran a package one weekend because there was some guy. The package on it was like, yeah, it's like the only blockbuster that's left in the entire world.
yeah, it's in Bend, Oregon, which is why it's called
Okay.
the Blockbuster Bend. But no, Cinemassacre, which is the YouTube channel, obviously really popular.
Hmm.
Angry Video Game Nerd used to be the Angry Nintendo Nerd, which
Yeah.
I used to watch that when I was younger. But I
Hmm.
watched they have a series of videos called like rental reviews where
Hmm.
they just talk about retro movies, and it's really great. It's really great. It's honestly like a more um, less what's the right word, satirical slash dry version of like Half in the Bags or
Okay.
um, you know, what's it called? What's the other one fucking called?
Best of the
Best
worst.
of the Worst. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like they like these movies and then they talk
Right.
about it, but it has the same kind of vibe. And
Hmm.
they did a video where they went to the like last blockbuster, and it came out a couple weeks ago, and all it did was make me go, you know what? Like I wish this was still a thing
Mm.
because I have so many fucking memories of going to Blockbuster or a video store, and
Yeah.
now there's nothing left.
Yeah, I do remember going to Blockbuster a lot, but it was like that. It was between Blockbuster and then at my grandma's house, we would go to the library and rent videos from there. So it was like
Oh,
those were the two like big rental spots for us. So
really?
yeah,
I never did the library thing. Never did the library thing.
yeah, we got a couple of good things. We fucking watched. This was we watched Bible Man from there. I don't
Oh
remember.
yeah.
Goddamn, that's fucking some cheesy ass bullshit, dude.
I've only seen YouTube clips of it.
It's I've watched like two or three of the whole movies because it was like one of those superhero things where like I don't know, my grandma was just like okay with it because it was a Christian, so it was fine. But it was lame, really boring, not fun.
um,
Uh,
so speaking of what we've been watching, Zach, what have you been up to
mm,
the last week, man?
dude, I got a little bit of a list.
Okay.
So I started off with I promised and I delivered on my promise that I watched The Gremlins 2.
Oh right.
Uh, Great fucking movie. Enjoyed every second of it. I mean, it's just great. It's great comedy, fun. It's super funny movie. It's like a gag a minute. Um, it's one of those things where it's like there's so many gags in it that like it's hard to tell when something lands and when something doesn't because even if something doesn't land, like the pace is so rapid that they're just like moving on to the next fucking thing.
Right.
But
Or it's
it's
also
super
like
fun.
it's such a unserious movie.
Yeah. Well, it's like the very first thing is well, I mean not the very first thing, but like the first bit that you kind of get to that. I mean, the whole fucking tower in and of itself of the fuck was it called? His name's Crump, right?
That's something like
No,
that,
something like
right?
that. It's like Crump or oh, something Tower, whatever. His tower is like the most ridiculous shit ever. The first like smart tower, which is funny that like Joe Dante fucking predicted the future with that shit. We're just smart technologies everywhere. And then you got the fucking restaurant that they go to the bar in that's like a Canadian themed restaurant that's like fucking Mounties as waiters and shit like that. So it's just yeah, it's just great jokes. It was a fun time. I really enjoyed watching it. I can't believe I'd never watched it before, but
Yeah, I don't. I feel like I've seen that one more than I've seen the first one.
I've
Honestly.
definitely seen the first one way more. I think it was just the first one, probably because what introduced me to the first one was my aunt, because my aunt used to have a lot of way more extensive DVD collection than like my parents did, and so whenever I would go to her house, I would like watch movies all the time, because she just had the way better movies to choose from. So she had the first Gremlins, but I don't think she had the second one. So I probably always just watched the first one
So does that
at
mean
her
that your
house.
cousins have like a way better movie taste than your brothers do?
Well, my aunt only has one child, and he was like after the rest of us were,
Oh, okay.
already kind of grown. But my aunt has better taste than my mom, that's for sure.
Because I remember, like, historically on the podcast, we would go back and forth about. I think it's your younger brother who just. Well, then you're all younger than you, obviously, but like your youngest brother who just loves Transformers.
No, that's my middle brother.
Middle
He
brother,
fucking
okay.
Lucas loves Transformers.
You
Yeah.
know, so it makes me think. I wonder if maybe if your parents had the extensive movie collection, he wouldn't be the Transformers nerd or no fan of the Michael Bay stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
Maybe.
I think New Batch is it's I like it. I like New Batch more, honestly.
Yeah. Uh, I don't
It's
know because
like
the first one
crazy.
is such a great. I think the first one's a better comedy film, but I think, or the second one's a better comedy film, but I think the first one is a much better like creature feature
Yeah,
type of film.
I get
I
that.
like the Christmas horror aspect to the first Gremlins, but I think this one is definitely a lot more of like an enjoyable ride, and I like specifically. I mean, it's they've talked about it numerous times, but I love how creative they got like with the Gremlin
Yeah,
designs and all the different things that they
the
can do, and
spider and
like
stuff.
yeah, with the spider, and you've got the bat one, and you've got the
Hmm.
lady gremlin, and you've got like the lightning gremlin, and all these different like interesting things that they can do by introducing this like genetics lab where they can do all these like weird and wacky transformations to the gremlins. One of the ones that like I feel like people don't talk about a lot, and it was like one of my favorites is the fucking brain gremlin with like the
Right.
fucking British accent and shit like that. I love that.
I'm
Um,
honestly really surprised that in the at least even in the short time that in well 5 years now we've been doing
yeah,
the podcast that
yeah,
we haven't seen any article about like a Gremlins 3 or a
yeah.
reboot because I mean honestly if they try to do it now it would obviously suck because they wouldn't commit
No,
to
they wouldn't.
the practical.
No,
um
it'd be all CGI, which would be really lame.
well, or they would do or if like Netflix got it they would do like a Dark Crystal.
That's true. Maybe, well, yeah. I mean, honestly, I mean, what they did with Dark Crystal, I mean, everybody seemed, from what I haven't watched it yet, but from what I saw, everybody really enjoyed what they did.
You still haven't seen it yet?
No, not their series.
I started the first episode when it came out. I mentioned this in the
Hmm.
podcast however long ago. Excuse me. I started it and I was like, you know what? I don't give a shit about puppets. Like in this sense, they look. I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, there's something about Jim Henson's. They're like much more exaggerated. Like, I don't know, Jim Henson's creations actually just feel like puppets, where it's like something like Gremlins. I don't know. They've got the weird, they've got that, I don't know, they don't really feel like they're puppets or they're practical effects or anything like that. I don't know, but even in Gremlins 2, though, I noticed that there was already some shit where they were like messing around with. I don't know if it was stop motion, if it was like early CGI or what, but there's like a couple of scenes where they have Gizmo like walking around like in the very beginning where he's like walking around the street or whatnot, and I was like, oh, that looks like a really janky special effect.
Right, right.
I don't know what it was. It looked like almost like it was. It almost looked like it was like a person like in a Gizmo costume, and then it was like green screened on or something like that. I don't know. It looks very strange.
So since you just watched it, you can answer me this because I
Mhm.
can't I can't remember. This is the mythos.
Yeah.
So like all the gremlins, they're all called gremlins, right? Even like Gizmo's also a gremlin.
No,
He's a
Gizmo's a Mogwai.
so and then
When
they
they
become
yeah
gremlins.
They become gremlins when they eat after midnight.
After
Because
midnight.
then they go into the cocoon and then they come out and they're
They come out
gremlins.
and they're gremlins. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What the? So who the? I want to know who the fuck made these things. Like in the mythos of gremlins. Like who the
Yeah,
fuck?
that's
Is it
never.
a thing that just existed? Like
It's just a thing that exists. Like it's in the first. It's never explained. It just his whatever his name's dad goes into the
just a
fucking
Chinese shop.
the Chinese shop and there's just the Mogwai there, and that's just it. There's never an explanation for it. It's assumed that it's like some ancient
Yeah.
like Chinese mythological being or something like that because it's
Yeah.
just like you've got the mystical Chinese guy and he's the one that's like as his guardian of this creature or whatever. But yeah,
Well,
never a definitive explanation.
what else did you check out? Obviously,
So
Gremlins 2 is great, by the way.
yeah, Gremlins 2's great. I watched Spike Lee's new joint.
Oh, right.
Came out on Netflix.
I like how you called it. He called it that too.
His new
Does,
joint.
does that bother you, by the way?
What?
That he calls his movies that?
That he calls it his joint? Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's I don't know. I don't know. Spike Lee's a director for me that's like, I don't know. I can appreciate his art, but I usually don't like it to a certain extent. But I loved Black Klansman. I don't remember if I talked about that on the podcast.
You did,
I did.
yeah.
But I really liked Black Klansman. I thought that was a really, really solid movie and it's very solid structure. This movie is, it starts off very solid. The Five Bloods, for anybody who doesn't know, is Spike Lee's new picture on Netflix. It's very much like it's weird because I don't know what necessarily to classify it as because it's not a war movie, but it's not a heist movie. It's like a pseudo, like Indiana Jones almost or something like that because it's like I don't know, but it's not. I mean, they're basically going on a treasure hunt because they hid gold, they buried gold during the Vietnam War. They were on this mission and they found out that there was like a case of gold, and so instead of completing the mission and like giving it to some village that they were supposed to give it to bribe them off, this group of 5 black men who were part of this military company buried the gold in the Vietnam hills instead. And so now it's like 30 or 40 years later or whatever, and they're like going back to Vietnam to gather the gold and retrieve the body of their squad leader or whatever who died in combat. And so that's like the basic premise of the movie. But the craft of the movie is fantastic because Spike Lee is a good director. I mean, he's got his cinematography is great. I love his shot choice. I love his decision of. I mean, this movie essentially takes place in 2 different times, where you've got flashbacks to their time during Vietnam, and then you have the modern day stuff of them back in Vietnam trying to find the gold. And the distinction that he makes between the 2 time periods is really nice because he's got when they're in the present day, it's like the wide format, like presentation of like, I mean, this is just present day. And then when you go back to Vietnam, it goes back to that 4:3 like aspect ratio. And it's like, it's not widescreen. It gets like I mean, it just squeezes together basically. But I like that aspect of it, of like you being able to like, you can easily tell the timelines in between that. The overall story is all right, but I mean, it's Spike Lee, and the context is like, even more so than Black Klansman, this movie like beats you over the head, which is like something that I don't really enjoy.
But it's a Spike Lee movie.
Yeah, I mean, I get the message that he was going for, and at a certain point, I was able to go along with it and get where he was coming from. But it's just like, especially in the very beginning, it's like just beats you over the head. And when one of the characters is like a Trump supporter, and it's like clearly he's supposed to be seen as like the bad guy of the group. All the other characters like treat him like he's fucking insane because he said that he voted for Trump and all this other shit. And then he's got this whole redemption arc that happens that has nothing to do with any of that at all. There's also plenty of moments where it's just like, it's clear that he just like, he can do it in interviews, but he also wants to do it in his movies where he just like wants to bash like Trump because he hates him. And like, I get it. It's fine. It's your movie. You can do whatever you want. But it's clear that like there are points where like it doesn't fucking matter. Like
Right,
there's
right.
like it's unnecessary that it's in there. He just wanted it to be in there. Like there's this one scene where they're at a bar after like after they're first going into Vietnam, and they like take a rest stop in this bar, and they meet up with some other characters or whatnot, and they're all French. They're like a nonprofit group that like goes to Vietnam to like disable landmines or whatever. Um, and so one of the veterans' sons tagged along with them, found out what his dad was doing, and like tagged along and was like, because he wants to split the gold or whatever. So he meets these French activists, and one of the characters basically said that they basically end up talking about the president, and like the guy for like the whole conversation is completely unnecessary. He comes up, he like does the whole like Pledge of Allegiance sign, and he's like, for speaking for all black people, like we didn't vote for him and blah blah blah. And I was like, this isn't necessary in your movie. Like it's unnecessary commentary. Like there's plenty of the problem is with Spike Lee is that there's plenty of commentary in his movie without him adding all this unnecessary like bullshit
Yeah.
that honestly for the majority of people probably just turns them off to the fucking movie.
Well, and that's one of the reasons why I don't watch Spike Lee movies as much. I mean, I've seen the big ones, and
Yeah.
he's a good director.
Yeah.
They're fine. I don't rewatch any of his movies. I've never
Yeah.
rewatched any of his movies because none of them have that for me. No,
Yeah.
they don't matter to me.
Right.
I don't think any of them are good enough, in my opinion, to rewatch. Maybe because I'm an Asian dude. Maybe because
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea. But the movies that are not race oriented,
Yeah.
Inside Man, Old Boy remake, you
Yeah.
know, they suck. They're
Yeah.
not good.
Yeah.
I saw half of Black Klansman. I thought it was fine. I didn't finish
Yeah.
it, not because it was bad. I just didn't care about finishing it.
Yeah.
And Malcolm X obviously is a fantastic movie. That's a
Yeah.
really great movie. But I don't think that's necessarily him. I think that's more Denzel. No offense.
Yeah.
And like I haven't seen this movie, and I saw the trailer for it. I got a little interested in it because I was oh cool, Spike Lee movie about Vietnam. All right, let me check it out.
Yeah.
Watched the trailer on Netflix. Went, nah, I'm okay. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna watch this now because I don't care about the. Not that I can't watch. I mean, dude, I was of an empty theater of six old fucking white dudes, and then me in Selma. That
Yeah.
was what I watched Selma. That was how I watched Selma. Fine movie,
Yeah.
fine movie,
Yeah.
well directed, fine movie. Obviously, you cannot make that movie without being about about
Yeah.
racial politics or whatever.
Right.
So that's the story. But
Yeah.
could you imagine if like the next Quentin Tarantino movie
Yeah.
we're watching it, or like not that. Let's say next Clint Eastwood movie. That
Mhm.
makes more sense.
Yeah.
And it's like he's sitting there at holding gunpoint, spaghetti western style, fucking
Yeah.
Mexican standoff, and he goes, "Man, I'm gonna fucking shoot you dead." And the guy's like, "Boo-doo," fucking cigar in his mouth, and Clint Eastwood
Yeah.
says, "Fucking Obama." Like
Yeah.
it would be irrelevant to the
Yeah.
story, like.
Yeah. 100%.
Not every. I guess it's because I think not everything has to be inherently about
Yeah.
politics or anything, especially like. I mean, just make a good movie
Yeah.
and a good. Honestly, it's kind of pandering. Like if I watch fucking if we go to see, Shang-Chi,
Mhm.
Shang-Chi, right?
I think so.
The Marvel Asian guy. If we go watch
Yeah.
that movie and
Yeah.
he fucking does some kung fu shit,
Yeah.
and then someone calls him Bruce Lee, I'm gonna be like, what are we? Or if he goes, like, and they pander so hard to the Asian crowd,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, fuck this movie, dude. Just make
Yeah.
a good story. Not that you can't have those things in the same movie,
Yeah.
but like, do it smarter.
Yeah, I
Do it
mean that's the
smarter.
thing. Well, that's the thing that makes me the most upset because I think in this movie there's great moments where I think he does do it smarter, but then
Right.
they kind of get lost in the fact that like he has smarter moments, but then he also has these like really dumb obvious moments that like are unnecessary. And I'm like, you'd be fine. The thing that I know they're unnecessary is because you could cut them out and it wouldn't make a fucking difference to the entire fucking movie.
Right.
And it would still be a great movie without all of that other stuff in it. And so that's just like, it's unfortunate. I don't know. It's unfortunate that I mean, nothing against him. Maybe it's just something that I mean, obviously, clearly he's very passionate about
Yeah,
it. Something that
obviously.
really informs his character, and I mean, that's fine. But like, I don't know. It's just every single movie that he does it just feels the same. And also, it's like, I don't know how, I don't know how much of this was his plan from the beginning, but it's like the first like 2 minutes is like a montage of like clips, like old clips, like not even like, oh, I filmed this and I made it look old. It's like literal like historical footage of
Hmm.
like just different moments of like the civil rights movement and different civil rights things and like and stuff leading up to the Vietnam War and stuff like that. And I was like, I don't really get like what the point of this is, like what's going on with this. And then at the end, it like has one of those title cards where it talks about the fact that like Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated on like this certain day, and like it ends with like a speech of him talking about like racial equality or like working towards a better future. And then the title card after that is like the year after this, Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated. And I was like, I don't. What was the point of having that in your
Right.
movie? Like that had nothing to do with the rest of your movie.
Or the
Or
main
maybe
plot
it
line.
does, and I just miss like what the connection is. But for me, it didn't make any sense that like that was there. Like it just feel like he
Yeah.
wanted it to be.
Well, and it's one of those things too where you really can't, in any sense of any sort of like politically charged movie, you
Yeah.
just import like real life stuff,
Hmm.
and then it's grounded in realism. Like no, if your story's bad, that your fiction story is bad, then your fiction story is bad. Like that applies to any political ideology
Right.
based movie. Like
Yeah.
it goes back to why I did not finish Watchmen, the show,
Yeah.
because I thought it was so blunt and poorly
Yeah.
written. Like in terms of like if you want to make Rorschach a neo-Nazi, that's fine, but make it believable as to why.
Yeah.
Don't make it like a complete just because he's a conservative, libertarian, freedom of speech kind of person in the comic book. Like,
Yeah.
I don't see the jump.
Yeah.
That's not the jump that to me is possible. So if you're gonna make something like that, which I mean, perfectly fine, go for it. And if the
Hmm.
movie's good, I'm gonna watch it regardless.
Yeah.
But when I get pandered to or beat
Yeah.
over the head, exactly like in Infinity War,
Yeah.
exactly like that, where it says, "Oh, it's fucking what's her name is Scarlet Witch is fighting the fucking or not Scarlet Witch, whoever the character is fighting the other alien envoy lady character." And
Yeah.
they go, "Oh, she's not alone." And it's a fucking like women team up. That's so fucking bad. That's
Yeah.
such bad writing, especially like especially in fucking in the next one, or no, and the sequel and fucking
Oh yeah.
where
Yeah.
Captain Marvel comes down from the galaxy and destroys an entire battle cruiser,
Yeah.
and then now she needs help to fucking fly around the fucking Infinity. Like, no, you don't fucking need help.
Yeah.
You came down from a galaxy and destroyed a cruiser.
Yeah. Something that no other character could ever do.
No other
You
character could
somehow
do,
fucking did. Yeah.
except for maybe Thor. And then we know that these characters are these minions are weak because the other characters are killing them.
Yeah.
So we know they're weak because they're killing them. Why would you need help from them? Like
Yeah.
that's just it's bad writing for to pander, and to me that's like some of the worst things you can do across the board at all. Like
Yeah.
in general, no matter what the political ideology was, like if I'm
Yeah.
watching a fucking cowboy movie and they fucking do some cool cowboy shit, and they turn to the camera and go, "Gun people, right?" Wink. I'd be like, "No, fuck you, dude. That's so
Yeah.
stupid." Just I don't know. What else did you watch?
So other than that, I watched. I began to watch. I began to watch the series on Netflix. I don't know if it's a Netflix series. I think it's actually from the History Channel, but Mufan's Alien series, Hangar One, is on
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Netflix. It's pretty good.
What is
Uh,
it about?
it's just going through their case files on like different alien stuff, and so the first episode is all about presidents and their connections through extraterrestrials. They talk about Eisenhower and his mysterious disappearance back when he was president, and like the think about Richard Nixon and like his past rumors surrounding extraterrestrial life, and like talking to who is that Jackie Gleason about showing him an alien body and stuff like that. They talk about Bill Clinton and his ability to try to make disclosure a possibility, and how it seems like he was kind of forestalled in that. And so it's interesting stuff. I mean, I love all alien shit.
It's funny
Obviously,
because
it's
I went to my Netflix app to see what this was, and
mhm.
I went to the actual like page, and it's already in my list.
Oh yeah,
So I don't remember ever seeing this. So I think that's some sort of government conspiracy that they put it in my list.
they knew they
I
made
think
a fucking
I think Bob Lazar was like, you know what,
I saw the Bob Lazar one was
yeah,
done, and I was like, "Fuck, dude, maybe I need to watch that one
let's
too."
Bob Lazar was like, you know what, this kid, he's already thinking about this stuff. So let's go ahead and just push him a little more over the edge.
Yeah, got to. But yeah, I
Um,
was watching that, and then that was basically. I mean, the last thing I watched was. I'm sure it's in your list too, because you told me. Um, but I also watched the Killer Instinct doc.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hold back to block. Uh, really fucking great. Made me want to play some Killer Instinct, except I don't have a fucking Xbox. So
Yeah, I watched it, and I honestly, I was really, really good, especially for a like,
a
obviously
YouTube
it's
doc.
obviously very professional, obviously, but like
Yeah,
it's not like a um, theatrical like kind of documentary. I don't think it was
yeah,
kickstarted, maybe just through a Patreon, or
maybe.
they make stuff on Patreon. Because the big one I've been waiting for is the Midway documentary called Insert Coin, which was
Okay.
supposed to come out at South by Southwest, and
Hmm.
like I keep checking Twitter to see what the guy who made it when it's coming out or premiering, and I just don't get am I getting any dates. So,
Right.
but then he retweeted this documentary, the
Okay.
Killer Instinct one, which is how I found it. Um,
Okay.
I liked it a lot. The problem I had with it, not even problems. I really wish this goes back to it not being a like a bigger production. Was that I wanted
Mm.
more of the production from in the beginning of it. Like I really liked all of the ideas behind the game.
Hmm.
I think that part was really rushed. I wanted like
Yeah.
more of that, like how they came up with the character designs, the move sets, all of that stuff. I
Yeah,
mean, it
I
would have
think a
been
lot of
2 hours,
stuff, yeah, with
but
like with Rare and like the beginnings of Killer Instinct 1 and Killer Instinct Gold and all that, yeah, it was kind of I mean they barely even talked about Killer
because
Instinct Gold.
the majority of the movie was Ki, like the reboot,
Was yeah, it was 2013 KI, yeah.
and
I would
maybe
say
that
that was probably like
and
that hour of a movie, yeah.
maybe that was the whole purpose of it. I don't know. I just thought that I thought it was a comprehensive thing.
It kind of felt like it was more just about like the return of KI with 2013. It felt like they really just did the original stuff just to like get the basics set up because it was yeah, they moved on from that like pretty quick.
And I liked it a lot though. For what it was, that was really really well done. I haven't seen any other one. You said you watched the other one.
I've seen a couple of other his. The most recent one I watched was that he did one for. It's not as long. I think it's only like 40 minutes or something like that. But he did one for Under Night in Birth and that whole community because that's like the Melty Blood. I believe the game company that designs that is oh shit, what's it called? It's it's like Swiss or French roll or something like that or Swiss roll or something. But they did Under Night, they did Melty Blood, and then they did Under Night, and Under Night their big game right now is Under Night in Birth, and they're basically talking about. I mean, a lot of his docs are talking about. I mean, um, I would say KI is the exceptions, but kind of like lesser well known fighting games and like getting the stories of the communities behind those games because that the one that I watched about Under Night was really not about the development of the game at all. It was much more about like the actual community behind the game, and the especially with because it's basically been the same community throughout all of this company's games with like Melty Blood and Under Night and then like all the different things that Under Night has been through. But it was really just about like the evolution of that community and like how they've been staying strong and like how they've been acquiring more members over the time and like basically like creating that like sort of family dynamic through the tournament scene of this uh, I would say relatively smaller fighting game. So
Right. I have never seen gameplay of that game. I know I kept hearing about it
French
when I
bread, that's
was
what they're called, French bread.
right. I kept hearing stuff like the name of it, but I just never seen it before.
Yeah,
Um, so I was gonna watch that, but I saw they had a Tekken one too.
I saw they
Um,
had a second one. I wanted to watch that one too. Yeah.
I just haven't done it yet.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, the KI one's really good for what it is. I'm hoping that
Yeah,
the Midway one, Insert Coin, comes out soon
I hope so.
because
That'll be
it's gonna be all about Mortal Kombat, at
yeah.
least partially about Mortal Kombat. So I'm
I
like,
mean, it's got to be. That's like the big fucking midway title. Mostly
yeah.
was Mortal Kombat.
Well, I got a couple things on my list. If you're finished.
Yeah, that was it. That was basically it. Played a couple of things, but nothing too big. So
Okay. Uh, my list for the week, what I've been checking out. The first thing was ESPN had a documentary come out last Sunday, um, called "Be Water," which is the
yeah,
Bruce Lee 30 for 30, which is weird that's ESPN because Bruce Lee was not an athlete. I mean,
yeah.
he's obviously a fantastic athletic martial artist, but like actor, but whatever.
Yeah.
It was fine. It was a fine documentary. It was kind of it needed more parts. It really
Mm.
did. It was an hour and a half, hour 44 minute long documentary, and to me, there's so much you can talk about with Bruce Lee, and they really
Mm.
wanted to, again they hit on race a lot because
Mm.
Chinese American,
Right.
and it made sense there because one, it's a documentary, two, the story about him being an Asian American actor not getting roles,
Mm-hmm.
it's that's the thing you can't that's part of the story.
What was
Um,
like in his movies too was a very big
yeah, it
part
was
of it.
very,
Yeah.
and that goes back to just Asian shit between the China and Japan, all kind of stuff. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, it's a fine documentary, not the best. I
Mm-hmm.
definitely not the best I've seen. Um, I would rather just read his wife's book again
Mm.
because she wrote the biography about Bruce.
Okay.
Um, it's fine. It is what it is. It
Yeah.
hits on the big things. It talks a lot about how his little bit at the beginning of his upbringing, how he moved back to America and all this kind of shit. And it's an ESPN documentary. So
Mm-hmm.
after watching The Last Dance, I was really hoping for like a really like dialed in, like
Mm-hmm.
detailed Bruce Lee documentary, and it was one of those documentaries where they showed no interviewee. They just
Mm-hmm.
put their voice under footage and pictures
Mm-hmm.
or over it, whatever. And I hate that in documentaries. I can't stand that. That's one of the reasons why I can't get past Peter Jackson's World War I one that you like a
Mm.
lot because I can't.
Yeah, I love that one.
They don't show the actual interviewee. It's just a
Mm-hmm.
bunch of other remastered footage and stuff like that, which is cool and I like that.
Mm-hmm.
But something about not having the person talking on screen for like a second,
Mm-hmm.
something about that really bugs me, especially like in this documentary where I know that Bruce Lee's wife is still alive, his daughter's still alive, obviously his son's passed away, but like
Mm-hmm.
there are people who are still alive around here that could have been on camera. So it makes me wonder if it just was pulled audio from prior things and they just got the rights to it and used that. That's what I don't know if that was what happened or not, and I probably not, but that's what it made me feel like. Um,
Okay.
but it's fine, especially if you're kind of like not really a huge Bruce Lee fan. It's one kind of who is this guy that everyone talks about? Well, here you go.
There you go.
Then I watched Princess Bride for the billionth
Fuck yeah.
time. That's
Fantastic fucking movie.
yeah, fantastic, great movie. It's every time I watch it, it gets smarter. Like
Yeah.
every time I watch it, I notice more stuff in it, and it gets funnier more times I watch it. I honestly always forget that movie has a torture scene. I forget that he dies
Oh yeah, that he
in the
like
movie.
loses like half his lifespan.
Yeah, well, he dies completely. I forget that he dies and is brought back
Yeah.
to life. I complete that whole part of the movie,
Yeah.
the whole middle.
Well, it's
I
got
don't remember.
who is that? It's not Billy Crystal. Who is it? Who plays Miracle Max?
I don't remember.
Who the fuck?
I
God
don't
damn.
remember.
Who the fuck plays Miracle Max? God damn it.
Like honestly, like for if the longer I go between watching the movie, I always think that the beginning part is the whole movie.
It is Billy Crystal. Son of a bitch.
Yeah,
All
there you
right.
go. I always forget that the beginning part of the movie is so not the whole movie. It's just the beginning part of the movie.
Yeah.
So I always forget the middle part exists. But yeah, Princess Bride. Then I watched the first 5 episodes of Kamen Rider Zero One, which is
Nice.
the current season of Kamen Rider. Haven't seen it at all except for these first 5 episodes. Usually I'm pretty good about watching it when they come out, but this last year I kind of just
Mm.
haven't dialed in on Kamen Rider or any Tokusatsu stuff.
Okay.
It's good. Suit designs are good. They look great. They're bulky. They're armory again. Um, Storyline is cool. It's like a futuristic cyborg world, AI, like Blade Runner, like kind of
Nice.
world. It's cool. Cyborg and shit like that. Then I watched again so recently. I watched Ghostbusters again.
All right.
I watched it not even like I don't know, a couple months ago. I watched both of them. So I watched that again. And I don't know what made me want to watch it again. I think I'm watching the real Ghostbusters cartoon still.
Okay.
It's like 7 seasons, so I'm watching it like an episode or two at a time.
Right.
And so I'm only still in the first season, second season.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you know what? Let me just go back and watch the movie. I mentioned this recently that to me, I like Ghostbusters. I don't love Ghostbusters like other people do,
Right.
but to me, it's a series that I like in theory more than in practice, or I like in comic book more than in the movies. And
Okay.
Watching the movie again, so close to back from the last time I watched it, and then watching it after watching Real Ghostbusters and also reading some of the IDW comic book stuff recently, it cements the idea that I like Ghostbusters not on movie form more than I do on movie form.
Interesting.
But maybe it's because it gets dark. There's darker stuff in the cartoons.
Probably.
There's darker stuff in the comic books. There's more expansion of the world. They explain how how does the containment trap actually? Like, how do they hold the ghosts? Like, they don't explain how the ghosts sit in the chamber
Right.
in the house.
Yeah.
But they explain that in the cartoons and in the comic book.
Okay.
So that whole mythos is expanded more, which is I think that's probably why I like it so much more. And then I watched Superman from 1978.
Oh, nice.
I haven't seen that movie.
Christopher Reeve Superman. All right.
Yeah, I haven't seen this movie probably in 15 years.
It's been longer than that since I was a kid. I think since it was the last time I saw that movie.
And I'm watching I watched the extended edition, so it's like 2 hours and 40 minutes or whatever. So
Oh my Jesus! I didn't even know they had an extended.
He doesn't even
edition.
become Superman until like 50 minutes into the movie.
Jesus.
And I'm watching this movie, and again, I haven't seen it. I know people love this fucking movie, right? Like, and I haven't seen this movie a lot. I've seen it maybe twice on TV, like on TV as a kid, like on TBS or some shit,
Right.
So I don't know much about the movie, and I'm watching it, and the title screen comes up, and the fucking John Williams theme starts playing. I'm like, oh man, like people love this movie, and I'm starting to get. I'm like, oh man, this is a good theme song from John Williams, right?
Yeah.
And then it goes, woof, Marlon Brando. I go, what the fuck?
He plays his dad.
I'm like, what? And then he
Krypton.
plays Jor-El? Holy shit. And then it goes, story by Mario Puzo. Do you know who Mario Puzo is?
I don't remember.
The guy who wrote Godfather, the
Oh,
book.
well, there you go.
And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how the fuck did he do the guy who wrote Godfather wrote this movie?
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, right? And then I know that I should be watching the movie more because Jeff Johns, who's obviously a DC legend writer,
Yes.
Flash Rebirth, Green Lantern Rebirth, bunch of crises, all this kind of
Darkest
shit.
Night, all that shit.
Yeah, Blackest Night, Brightest Day, fucking Hawkman, JSA or JLA, all the DC legend Jeff Johns
Yeah.
got his first job working for Richard Donner. So I'm like, okay, you know what? And he talks highly about this movie, highly about Richard Donner. So you know what? Maybe I should just fucking watch this movie. And I did not know, for some reason, it didn't click in my mind that Richard Donner also directed Lethal Weapon.
That didn't click
And
in
I
my
was
mind.
like, you know what? That makes sense. Because Lethal Weapon's a 10 out of 10 movie.
Yeah.
Lethal Weapon's a 10 out of 10 movie. So I watched Superman, fucking loved it. Loved it. Oh my god, I watch this movie more often. This movie's fantastic.
Yeah.
Maybe not this version of it. Maybe
I
the
remember
standard version.
The one that I always remember is, I believe Superman 3, because that's the one where Zod shows up, and I love the one with Zod. I don't remember who plays Zod, but I remember being in love with him.
He's a goofy looking guy.
He's a goofy looking guy, but I fucking remember loving the shit out of that character when I was a kid.
He's a goofy looking dude. The whole movie, it's so goofy. Like even when he's still in Smallville, and he in this movie, the first one, he's cleaning the football gear in Smallville in this middle of the open fucking field, You know, there's their school right there, clearly like in the 50s, 60s, whatever they're doing it. And
Right.
then this Lana goes, "Hey, Clark, we're gonna go to this party and they'll play some music. Do you want to come?" He's like, "Yeah, yeah, I want to come." And then this football player comes over and is like, "Oh, he can't come." He's like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "You gotta fix the gear." He's like, "Well, I just did it." And the camera turns around, and all the gears are all on the floor and shit, like all fucked up. And Clark's like, "Oh no, man!" And then he does this thing and he runs. The super speed looks so shitty in this movie. It
Yeah.
looks so bad, but something about it is endearing
Superman
enough.
1, is that Superman 1 the one where he flies so fast that he makes the world spin in reverse and,
I don't know if
and
that.
makes
I
time
don't.
go backwards?
No, I don't think so. No,
I can't remember which
I
Superman
think
movie
that's
it
that
is.
4 or 3.
I can't remember. Maybe it's 3 or 4. He like
4.
flies so fast that he reverses time.
Hold on. Let's see. Superman flies
I feel like that's 4.
backwards around the Earth.
Because I just looked it up, and 2 is the one with Zod, which means 3 is the one where he splits apart. Superman and Clark actually split into 2 different people, because that's when he has this
No,
fight
yeah,
with
it is the
himself.
first movie. Yeah, I'm going crazy. Yeah,
It
it is
is?
the first movie.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going crazy. Jesus Christ.
A lot of
I
stuff
don't,
going on. 2 hours and 40
dude, that's
minutes.
it's a 2 hour and 44 minute movie. I watched it last week. I don't remember that scene being in
Yeah.
the first movie. That's crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I just wasn't paying attention to that particular moment.
I don't know why. That's such a good
It's
moment.
it's
He
just a
fucking
stupid,
flies
it's just a
so
stupid moment. That's what it is.
fast. He flies so fast he makes time go in reverse.
I feel like after I watched it, I was like, where the fuck is Metropolis at? And I kept googling like where's Metropolis at in where's it supposed to be? And
Isn't it
people
supposed
kept
to be in like it's supposed to be in like it's not in Kansas. It's like it's somewhere in the middle of the country though.
well, so I thought it would be in Kansas, but then I kept seeing the general consensus was Delaware, and then
That's not
Gotham
right.
City is New Jersey, and
I thought
then
Gotham City was supposed to be New York.
well, say Metropolis is supposed to be Delaware and New York, somewhere around there. And across the
Okay.
Delaware River is New Jersey, and that's supposed to be Gotham. And then Central City is like in Missouri,
Okay.
like with Keystone.
I
And
know what is it? Fucking oh my god, what's it called? Fucking Green Lantern City. What the fuck is Coast City? Yeah, it's in California.
California. And I saw Star City's supposed to be like Seattle-ish
Yeah.
area,
I think
something like
something
that.
around there, yeah.
You know, so I was like, you know what? That makes it always weirded me out that I just didn't know.
Yeah.
But so Superman watched it, liked it a lot. Clearly didn't care about that particular scene.
Yeah.
And then last thing, I got 2 things going on.
Okay.
One thing actually. Sorry, I'm gonna skip this one thing.
Mhm.
I'm a big pinball fan.
Ooh.
I like pinball a lot. Play pinball a lot.
Pinball's good shit.
And I don't play a lot when I'm home because I don't want to spend too much money.
Right.
But usually I use a pinball app called Pinball Map, which tells you what's in the area. It's by
Okay.
users can update the map and where they're at, what restaurants, what places have what pinball machines. So I played some Stranger Things recently, but a pinball company called American Pinball just released their first gameplay reveals on YouTube with a YouTube pinball guy for their new table called which is Hot Wheels,
Ooh,
and
nice.
it looks awesome. It looks awesome. Like it looks
I'm
so
down
much
for that.
fun, and I cannot wait to play it. If anywhere near me gets it,
Mm.
or if anywhere in Myrtle Beach gets it, or wherever, it looks so awesome. And he's like, you know
Yeah.
what? And I've been trying to buy a pinball machine for home for like,
Right.
and by trying I mean I've been wanting one. That's not
Right.
trying. I've been wanting one. But Zach, do you know how expensive a pinball machine is?
It's got to be over $1,000.
Dude, a brand new base model, because there's different levels. A base
Right.
model, like licensed machine,
Hmm.
7,000.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Like Ghostbusters was,
Which is funny to me because now we're at that point where it's like, I mean, you go to Walmart and I've seen a couple of them that I got released recently, but it's like arcade cabinets are starting to become like a thing where it's like
Yeah,
You can like go to like Target or Walmart and like buy an arcade cabinet of like fucking good arcade cabinet with like fucking TMNT back in time. What is it? Back
Turtles
in
in
time
Time.
is Turtles in Time. You get that fucking arcade cabinet for like $150 at Walmart. And I was like,
Right.
I would buy that arcade cabinet.
And no, a pinball machine has so much more shit going on in it.
Yeah.
You know, the mechanics, the programming, the wiring, the actual pieces, the lights. So I get why they're expensive, but
Mhm.
I was like, no, I'll sell all my figures. I'll sell all my toys. I'll sell all my comics, all my omnibuses. I'll sell all my collection of everything to
Yeah.
buy Jurassic Park or to buy like they just Stern, which is another big pinball, probably the biggest pinball manufacturer,
Mhm.
just released that they're making TMNT,
Oh, I would buy
and
that in an
they showed
instant.
gameplay. They showed the
Oh,
gameplay of it. The table, it looks fucking amazing. It looks awesome. It's based on the cartoon, the '80s cartoon. It looks like an amazingly fun table. Um, it's like, all right, well, let me look at how much it's costing. You know, the Pro version, which is the base
mhm.
model, is like $7,000.
Yeah.
And there's a retailer in up north South Carolina. It's like, fuck it, dude. Let me see what's going on, man.
Damn,
But
son.
I did the math. If I sold my entire collection of shit,
Mhm.
figures, comics, toys, action figure statues, everything, sold all of my stuff, omnibuses,
Mhm.
I would probably still need $4,000. I was like,
Jesus.
I can't do it. How the fuck does anyone do this? You know, unless you're a
I don't know
fucking
how.
rich motherfucker. You
Unless you're
know,
that guy that I knew in fucking Myrtle Beach, where it's just like your whole business is like you're a geek shop, and then you also can refurbish old pinball machines on the side, and that's you probably just got them from refurbishing old ones. Mm.
well, I literally was googling how do people afford pinball machines, and
Mm.
you know, some people are dumb and take credit out. Some
Mm.
people, you know, just credit card it, which is dumb.
Yeah,
Some places offer like payment like plan things.
I could see doing a payment plan for sure.
Well, yeah, some people do payment plan things, obviously at whatever the rate is, and then
But at that point, that's like buying like a decent used car.
absolutely, it's absolutely buying a car, you know. But then other responses were like the good ones were like you should just if you can't afford it in cash, you can't get it.
Right.
But apparently the common tactic is to buy an old machine that it's like in the
Mm-hmm.
hundreds, maybe $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
Work on it, spruce it up, make it
Right.
good, flip it for more money while you're saving other money, and then you're able to just slowly
That
step
makes
your way
sense.
up into the bigger, more expensive pinball realm. Or you start buying pinball machines when you're 50 and you already have had a career for a long time, and chances
Yeah.
are, if you're 50 and you had a career, hopefully you're making enough money to be able to buy six
Hopefully, you
thousand
got
dollars worth. You
enough
know,
stuff in the bank. Yeah.
to tell you what, at 27, and a guy who works as a first responder,
Yeah.
I'll tell you goddamn what. Yeah, I can't drop 7K on Jurassic Park Pro, even though it's a fantastic machine.
Yeah.
Um, so that's all I did. I bought some. I literally bought a Superman figure yesterday, but that's whatever. It's fine.
Okay.
I won't talk about it. But
Yeah.
um, we can go ahead and move into the news
Yes.
of the week. Zach, what do you want to hit first with this stacked week of
Hmm.
news?
Let's. I mean, we have to talk about it, right?
Yeah,
Fucking Bill and Ted.
Bill
We
and
got that
Ted.
first look, man. That first
How do
official
you?
trailer.
What do you think? Bill and Ted 3. What do you think?
I love it.
Love
Looks
it.
good. I love the characterization. I love the direction that they're going in. It's just basically the second movie, again, but they're older. We're just like, hey, you were supposed to fucking
Do
bring peace
this.
to the entire universe, and you still ain't done it yet. What the fuck?
Yeah, I I love the trailer. Love it.
Yeah,
I'm seeing the movie regardless. I know I'm gonna love it regardless.
yeah,
You know, obviously none of them. It's not gonna beat one. It
right.
could beat two, but probably not. I think it's gonna
Yeah,
be in the order like one, two, three. Um, yeah. I was hoping for a different like.
story.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
want to see the hey. It's been 25 years. You guys still didn't write the song yet. Like I don't care about. I was hoping for something different. Like
yeah. I mean, the thing that they're doing with it that is more interesting to me, which is that they're just going to see different versions of themselves. And
Yeah.
so I think that's going to be a great part of it. I mean, they showed the one shit where they're like fucking buff prison dudes, and I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, yeah, you just do more wacky, weird shit like that, and I'm all there for it. So
I wonder what. Now I don't know how deep they're trying to get with this, and it's not in terms of
right,
like seriousness, but in terms of like universal stuff, like
yeah,
timeline stuff, because they
yeah,
have
like alternate
sons.
realities and shit
Because
like that.
in the two they have boys, but in this
Okay,
movie they have teenage
they have
daughters.
daughters, yeah.
So I wonder they're like, we have to go find ourselves who've done this already, and they
Uh,
go to the universe that we have seen already in one and two.
so they go to Bogus Journey and fucking find
Yeah,
the song.
they go to the Bill and Ted of the first two movies where they have sons and they've already done this,
Okay,
and that's why who they're going to copy from, because in their timeline, their universe,
that would make
in
sense.
Earth 2 Bill and Ted they haven't done it yet, but in Prime 1 that we've seen they've already done it.
That would also explain to the why George Carlin isn't there.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
to me that would make sense to me, because I mean like people were like, why do they have daughters when they announced that they have daughters
Yeah.
however long ago, a year ago? People like were like, whoa, hold on, we don't care about it's not a sexual thing, it's just it's a continuity thing, like why.
Right.
And I think the director or writer or whoever has come out and talked about it. I don't remember what the statement was, but if you wanted to be like smart about continuity, you could just write it as that, and it would make
Yeah.
that's the. I mean, it fits in with the story. It makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Who knows if that's what they're going to do or not? But if they did do that, I called it. Um, Keanu looks rough, dude.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because Winters doesn't. He
Looks
looks
fine.
he looks pretty good, but yeah, Keanu. It's weird. He doesn't look rough, but it's just like I don't. Probably maybe just because we've just seen him so much more recently, and we just haven't seen Alex at all. But yeah, he just doesn't.
I think what it really is, like, I think that's
He
part
looks
of it
so much
too.
different from original Wild Stallions Keanu.
What
He
I
just
think
doesn't look the same.
I think that's definitely part of it. I think the big thing too is that
His
we
accent also isn't there either.
we're so used to saying that Keanu looks young for 50 something,
Yeah.
and finally we're like, it hit.
Yeah, he does. He
It's
definitely doesn't look young anymore.
it's also
Yeah.
the lack of beard.
Oh yeah, that's true. He's completely clean shaven.
Like if John Wick 4 has clean shave John Wick, you're gonna be like, there's no way John Wick is killing these guys.
Yeah.
But John Wick with a beard, like he hides the old man neck,
Yeah.
which makes me wonder like, how are we gonna do Neo?
Yeah, that's true.
Because Neo's never had a beard before,
No.
and I'm not saying Neo can't have a beard. Why not? He can. It's fine.
Yeah.
But like, if he's like in the one costume with like in Matrix 2 and 3, like the fucking the
Yeah.
tight collar one, and
Mhm.
if he looks like that, and he's like
Yeah.
with the fucking old man,
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I mean, I'm still gonna fucking love it, but
Yeah. No, I definitely feel you there. Yeah, that's the weirdest thing, and it was just like for me, it was just weird because it doesn't. He, I don't know what happened. Maybe he just can't do the voice anymore. But he like didn't have that.
dude, do you
Didn't
blame him
have
though?
the Ted voice.
Do
No,
you
I don't.
blame him?
I don't blame him at all.
For
It's just weird.
think
I
about
mean,
it, dude.
it's weirder because he's attempting like to do it a little bit. It just
Yeah.
doesn't sound the same.
Think about it, dude. Right? Alex Winters does these movies, and
Yeah.
that's, for lack of better, that's kind of all.
Yeah, that's
like,
really.
I don't know anything else he's done.
If anything.
If anything, whereas Keanu's done so much, and then Keanu, like, I think I was seeing it in that action documentary I was talking about. Obviously, I wasn't alive, and neither were you. But right after he did going into Point Break
Mm-hmm.
and like Speed, people were like, Keanu? You mean the fucking guy from Bill and Ted?
Mm-hmm.
So I think Keanu actively had to fight that. Oh man,
Yeah.
69, dude. He had to like fight that stereotype to become like the Keanu that we know now, which is still kind of like that, just not as fucking not as intense, But
Yeah.
I hope that they do something goofy like that. Like if I'm watching the movie and they don't have some stupid ass like broy heavy
Yeah.
metal rock nerd like dumb thing, like strange things are afoot at the Circle K. If they don't say some shit like that, I'm gonna be
Yeah.
they're very disappointed.
Yeah. 100%.
When's it come out again? Is there a
Uh,
date on it?
it comes out September, right? Or it's like sometime near the end of the summer, I think. I think it is. Yeah, August 21st.
It's August. Oh shit.
I know. It's only like 2 months away.
Dude, could you
So
imagine this,
crazy.
dude? August. I get to go see Bill and Ted. And
Mhm.
then a month later, I put in a request to have September 17th until the following Monday off because that's when Cyberpunk comes out. So I get back-to-back doses
Yeah.
of Keanu.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm excited, man. I think this trailer looks good. It's a fun trailer. I think we need fun movies, and this is a thing that we haven't really had a movie like this in a long time. Not Bill and Ted, but a movie like this kind of atmosphere.
Yeah, I would say it's been a while.
I can't even think of the last movie that we've had that's been like in this kind of realm of like goofy time travel, not serious, like
Yeah.
kind of movie, but that's not an animated
It's so
movie.
strange, yeah, because everything nowadays is like so uber serious,
Or a
like
blockbuster.
or a blockbuster, or like a really, really dumb, unimaginative comedy, which is like
it really shows you that like how the film industry has gone since we were young. Where in the destruction of the DVD and the home sale and the blockbuster, the home retail market, where like the theater now is for Christopher Nolan. It is now for Star Wars. It is now for the MCU.
Yeah.
And then the indie film market is all like artsy fartsy still. Artsy fartsy, like in depth, emotional, moonlighty, Call Me by Your Name stuff. And there's no room for that in between just mid grade. Here's a movie about, a mermaid and Tom Hanks. Like, can we do that movie anymore? Like, we can't. Here's a movie about Tom
No,
Hanks and a
not in the
dog.
theaters. Now that kind of stuff gets usually released on Netflix.
It's
or
on that,
Amazon
Netflix or exactly
Hulu or anything like that. Yeah.
But like, even that, dude, I really feel like they don't make movies like this anymore. Like, the Bill and Ted. This Bill and Ted's like a last of a dead. Like, it's a resurgence of a dead breed. Like, when's the last time you watched a movie like Dragnet, or like Ghostbusters? Besides the new one coming out, or fucking like Turner and Hooch, like Big, like essentially 80s Tom Hanks movies. Like, when's the last time you watched a movie that was like that? Now, like, I can't think of one.
I don't know. Yeah, because even Tom Hanks movies nowadays are not old Tom Hanks movies.
No, they're not.
It's not like Big or anything like that. Yeah.
Or even like something like Forrest Gump. I mean, the last Forrest Gumpy kind of movie I can even think of, and it's not even similar in any sense, was like Benjamin Button. Like, that's like a serious movie. That's a serious ass David Fincher movie.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. It's rough.
Strange times we live in.
Let me hit on a couple of these real fast.
Okay.
Speaking of Superman and comic books and HBO, HBO Max is going to be rotating their DC movies out.
Yes.
So basically, on July 1st, all the good ones are gone, which is stupid. I don't know what the logic is. I read a couple articles. I can't remember what the reasoning was. All I know is that, like, that's, to me, it's a stupid move. Like, to me, it's like,
yeah, it makes no sense.
You're gonna get rid of all the good. Like, what else? If they're removing, I think they're removing. Let me pull up a list up real quick. This is from comingsoon.net.
Well, the ones that are on there right now are Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Justice League is on there.
The
Batman vs Superman is on there, I believe.
The Tim Burton stuff, as well as Forever. The DC film. This is from comingsoon.net. The DC films they'll be leaving on Wednesday, July 1st are Justice League, Batman vs Superman, Wonder Woman, Suicide Squad, Batman Returns, Batman Forever, Batman Robin, Catwoman, Jonah Hex, and The Losers. The only ones that are remaining are Aquaman, Shazam, Supergirl, and Green Lantern. What the fuck else do you got?
Yeah.
Besides the Nolan Batmans. What the fuck else do you have?
Superhero-wise, they don't have anything.
Besides animated shit, but that's not the same thing. That should be there already. Yeah. That should always be there, the animated stuff.
I think it is. No, actually, a lot of it isn't.
They only have,
so maybe that's what they're doing.
7 or 8, but like they have like Dark Knight Returns and stuff like that. But like
Yeah.
What else do you give me live action wise besides like you're taking all the good shit away?
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do.
Like I'm trying to think back in my mind of the Rolodex of DC live action. Like that's pretty much everything. You
Um,
can give me like what the fucking. And these are films, not even the shows. So you can't give me CW stuff. You can't give me Smallville.
yeah.
This is all films. You can't give me fucking old Flash TV show, old Wonder Woman TV show. You give
They're
me
giving you Doom Patrol season 2.
Doom Patrol season 2, which is fine. I mean, I haven't seen season 1 yet.
I haven't either,
Um,
but
and I mean to watch it because I like Doom Patrol. Like Grant Morrison, Doom Patrol is really great, but also Brendan Fraser, obviously, is the voice of what's his name,
Robot Man.
Robot Man. And listening to Brendan Fraser talk about it, he like, I think we mentioned this before in the podcast, like
I think so.
how I was watching an interview with him talk about the character of what's his name, like Clive or something, or
I think something like that.
Clyde,
It's like Clive
the race car
or
driver,
Clyde.
whatever the fuck his
Yeah.
name is, To me, Doom Patrol is such a. I don't know anyone's names. Like I read all of Grant Morrison's shit, his whole
Yeah.
run on Doom Patrol, and like I just didn't get it. I
Yeah.
liked it, but I just didn't get it. But Brendan Fraser like really fucking cared the way that he talked about this character. I was like, you know what? That's awesome. That's fantastic. But there's nothing you can give me. There's nothing
Yeah.
else you can return that equals Batman Forever or Batman Returns or Batman One. Or I don't think Batman Forever's on here, but you can't. Nothing you're gonna give me can replace those Tim Burton movies.
Yeah.
Like those are the best. That's the pinnacle. I mean, some people say Christopher Nolan, but they're fine. But they're. I mean, I don't know. Fuck
Yeah.
it. Whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
What else do you want? What's next? I want to talk about, dude.
This Godzilla news has me sad.
Yeah.
Super fucking sad. I was so stoked for November, and now I have to wait almost another half a fucking year. God damn it.
It's
I want-
ridiculous.
The fact that they don't think that theaters are going to be back and up and running by November, it's like, what the fuck? Either that or it's like they haven't completed the movie yet, where it's like, what the fuck have you been doing in quarantine then?
So, Godzilla vs. King Kong moves from November 20th, 2020 to May 21st, 2021. I feel like if he postpones this movie any longer, I'm not gonna care.
Yeah.
Because it's already been a gap between, like, obviously King of All Monsters is a sequel to Godzilla, but like,
Right.
or a sequel to, yeah. It's already been long enough between King Kong and the next King Kong movie,
Yeah.
right? It's been like what, 3
Well, it's
4
already
years?
been 2 years.
2 years? Is that when Skull Island came out?
No. Well,
2017?
King of Monsters came out after that. And
Yeah,
King
but
of
when
Monsters
did
came
Skull
out-
Island come out? Skull Island came out in
Uh,
2017, so it's going to
okay.
be 3 years. Like
It's gonna be 4 years by the time that movie comes out. Now.
Yeah, and like with no trailers, still no teaser trailer.
No posters,
No
no
posters.
stills, no nothing.
I don't know what the cast is. I'm guessing they're gonna have some people from King of All Monsters in it.
I don't know, because in King of All Monsters, a lot of the people who had been like recurring characters are fucking dead. So.
Well, Raymond, what's his name? The dad. He can be in it, right?
From Friday Night Lights, I guess.
Yeah, the guy, the dad of L.
Yeah,
11?
probably. I mean, 11 will probably be in
Because
it.
nobody from King Kong can be in it.
No, everybody from King Kong's dead, and
They'll
then
be
Ken
dead.
Watanabe and his people from the first Godzilla all
They're
died in
dead.
King of Monsters. So it'd probably be like, yeah, Friday Night Lights dad. You've got the fucking Joffrey from Game of Thrones is going to be the villain, I guess. And then you've got,
Wait, what? That's confirmed?
well, I mean, probably. I mean, I would
Was
assume
was
with
he
the
in King-
teaser at the end of King of Monsters.
Wait, what's the teaser of the King of Monsters?
He finds the DNA from King Ghidorah, so he's gonna make King Ghidorah again. He's gonna make like a clone of him.
Gotcha. Okay, I don't remember that.
But he's like the eco-terrorist or whatever, so I would assume he's gonna show up in Godzilla vs. King Kong, because that would be the reason for Godzilla and King Kong to team up again, which is they have to take down like a Mecha King Ghidorah, which would be fucking rad if a fucking not the King Ghidorah in fucking Godzilla 3, but
Dude, there are too many fucking.
there's so many, and I want them
There are
all.
too
I
many
want all of the
goddamn
monsters.
like kaiju
I
and
want
the
all the
Godzilla,
kaiju.
and I
There's
don't
so many
know.
more that we don't have. We don't have fucking Redon. We don't have fucking Space Godzilla. We don't have fucking Destroya. We don't have Orga. We don't have fucking Anguirus. Can't say his fucking name.
We don't have Kyogre. We don't have Groudon.
We don't have fucking Godzuki. We don't got Baby
We don't
Godzilla.
got Lugia. We don't got Ho-Oh. We don't got no one.
We don't got Obelisk the Tormentor. We don't
I
Slifer the
yeah,
Sky
it was
Dragon.
Slifer the Sky Dragon. We don't got the Raw, whatever the fuck it's called. I I mean, I'm open about my lack of care for Godzilla. I don't have any sort of like love for it. I think they're I think they're fun. I will watch them. I had no problem with them. I think the big thing that to me about Godzilla that makes me not care about Godzilla is the lack of a guy in a costume in armor.
Yeah.
Fighting it. Like that's why I love. I mean, I'm a big Toku guy, obviously, but I love it's the Ultraman, it's the Kamen Rider, it's the Super Sentai.
Yeah.
That's what I love. The monster parts are the addition to the guy in armor part that I love more. So just monster fight monster. I'll watch it. I'm sure it's fun. I really liked King of All Monsters. King of All Monsters was a really fun movie. Because they were smart about it. They didn't do what the first one did, which was make it about the people.
Right.
They made it about Godzilla doing Godzilla shit. With
Yeah.
some people stuff in there, obviously. You can't not have that.
But really, I mean, it all took a back seat to fucking kaiju, which is how it should be.
Absolutely. And they looked great. And the monsters looked awesome.
Yeah.
Like, the effects looked fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, you got fucking Rodan, and you got fucking Mothra, and King Ghidorah, and Godzilla, and they all look rad as shit, and like the best that they've ever looked. Ugh.
I never knew that he was supposed to be an alien.
Ooh, Ghidorah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like
But Godzilla's not an alien.
No, Godzilla's not an alien.
And in this universe, Godzilla's not born from radioactive activity.
No, technically he's like an ancient...
Like ancient dinosaur monster thing.
Yeah, he's like an ancient dinosaur monster that like is from like the new one in King of Monsters, they do some like fucking Hollow Earth shit where they talk about how there's like an ancient civilization that like lived inside the Earth, and like the Godzilla was like the
guardian.
The guardian, or like the guardian / like god of this, kind of like King Kong is in fucking King Kong, where he's like the guardian of that area. Godzilla was like the guardian of like this center of the Earth civilization.
But it also, I think we talked about this too, kind of partially I talked about this movie when I watched it. It was like,
maybe.
It also seems like weird because like all the other kaiju, like have a connection, except for Ghidorah, have a connection to Gojira, like in this movie franchise. Like they say they keep saying he's gonna be the guy.
He's the alpha of the ecosystem.
Right.
Yeah.
But like King Kong like is a whole different like.
Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna factor that in, because he's like a whole. I mean, the way that like Skull Island works and all that shit, it's like kind of separated off from like the rest of the world.
They have their own hierarchy of monsters.
Yeah.
So the only way in my mind I'm picturing it is like, okay, Godzilla and all the kaiju, like the Japanese-y kaiju stuff, are like one era.
Yeah.
Or this era, this section of the planet. Mm-hmm. And then King Kong existed on this section of the planet, but they're from the same like species. Like I don't know how they're gonna do it.
I don't know. Yeah, because I mean I don't know, because they kind of got rid of that whole notion in King of the Monsters, where it was like the Alpha cult came out and you saw like monsters popping up from like all over the world, and they were all part of that same like kaiju ecosystem.
Right, because why would King Kong not? Obviously, how's he gonna get there? But like, was he gonna swim? Like how?
I mean, probably.
But also, besides them having the,
I also don't know how he's gonna fight for alpha status, because just on a pure like size basis, like they try to make him bigger, but he's still smaller than Godzilla.
Still smaller than Godzilla.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean,
he's an henchman, dude.
Go from the aspect of like he's smaller, but so he's faster, maybe, and that's how
he's gonna henchman, dude. He's
Kind
gonna
of want him
henshin.
to. I kind of want him to.
He's gonna like
Godzilla fucking henshin in King of the Monsters. He got that fucking radioactive power. He goes
King
boom,
Kong's
bang!
gonna like Kong's gonna be like he's gonna put a fucking skull mask on. He's gonna put like a fucking giant dude. Dude? No, never mind. I was thinking like
What if, completely out of left field, they fucking brought Ultraman in?
dude, I wouldn't be as down for Ultraman, but if like out of like they're fighting and they're destroying a city and then out of nowhere like a fucking like Jaeger like lands, I'd be like that'd be cool.
That'd be pretty dope.
I'd be cool with that because it would make sense.
Pacific Rim crossover would be pretty dope.
It would make sense. You could even do it to where like Godzilla's domain is that rift, so the Jaeger comes through the rift.
That'd be pretty dope.
So it's like clearly that's a good MacGuffin slash like Deus Ex kind of shit. Like he just gets in here from another thing. I don't know how they're gonna explain that battle because
I don't know.
Well,
I'm interested to see.
if Godzilla's the alpha, well we know he's alpha. He's the fucking biggest thing and has like how's he has laser beams.
Yeah, I don't know how King
have?
Kong's gonna like fight him.
They're gonna give him
because in the original Godzilla King Kong, it was like it's basically like a Nerf Godzilla. Like he doesn't do like the lasers or anything like that. It's literally just like physical fighting of like Godzilla versus King Kong. And I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna do it.
Like we saw Godzilla like, didn't he like in the first movie or this movie like he like blew laser beams down someone's face?
Yeah, he like fucking torso. He in the first movie. Yeah, it's like one of the first. It was like the second or third time he uses his laser beams in the whole movie, and he like blows a creature's entire face off.
And then in this one, he's like super Kamehameha, like father son Kamehameha waves.
Yeah.
So I don't know how King Kong has a chance.
I don't know.
Unless King Kong first off, how are they gonna fight? Unless King Kong comes to the island.
Yeah.
And at that point, he just crushed the island. He's so big.
Yeah.
Or he'll sink the island. He'll go under the island, blow a wave up on the island, kill everybody.
Yeah.
The only thing I can picture is like, okay, they meet somewhere, whatever the fuck. I don't know how it works. They transport Kong and then he gets free or something. I don't know. But like
something like that.
Kong is smart. Not saying Godzilla's not smart, but Kong is like smarter because he's a primate.
Right.
So he's jumping around buildings like fucking guerrilla warfare.
Mm-hmm. I saw what you did.
And then he has like a satchel of like spears and shit. Like how else would he fight Godzilla?
I don't know. Yeah, he's gonna have a satchel of just like giant tree branches,
like
tree trunks that he just
made
like
into spears. Dinosaur teeth that he brought like a fucking bandolier of like T-Rex teeth. Like what else is he gonna do?
I would want to watch that.
Like he's like stabbing Godzilla, and then he like does a shuriken. Like I don't know what the fuck he's gonna do. He's too small. Like because
Tatsumaki Senpaku.
Right. Like if in King Kong, the original King Kong.
Yeah.
He's climbing the building, and he's not as big as the building. He's just climbing the building.
He's not.
But Godzilla's the size of the building.
Godzilla towers over these buildings.
So how? I
don't know.
Jordan Vogt Roberts has a lot to.
Is he the one that's actually directing it? Okay.
Yeah, I believe so. The guy who did Kong.
Well, that's not good because that means he'll make King Kong win because he fucking directed King Kong.
Well, I'm pretty sure. Japan's like, you guys have to. We have to. It's gonna be a tie.
They've got to team up, but there's going to be a fight, and there's going to be a fight where they have a winner, and then they'll team up.
Was the first one a tie?
No, in the first one, in the original, King Kong defeats Godzilla.
Whoa!
Which is bullshit.
How did he win?
I don't remember specifically, but I think he like threw him against a volcano. I think, and
Shit.
Yeah.
Because in the promotional poster for this, they look like they're the same size, King Kong and Godzilla. Like they're the same level, which doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Well, it's like in that original Godzilla vs King Kong, they like nerf Godzilla because they like they make him smaller and they like take away his breath power and all that shit. Yeah.
I'm gonna Google how can Kong beat Godzilla?
I guess he did have his breath power. Maybe it just wasn't as effective, but they definitely nerfed his size. That's for sure.
I mean, Kong is big, but he's like not that big, right?
He's not Godzilla big.
I'm like looking at the picture from the movie where he's like in front of the helicopters. Like he looks big, but he's like.
Yeah. I also think they upped King Kong's size again for Godzilla vs King, just like they're gonna do in this one. I think they upped his size again.
I want to send you the link to the promotional poster from IMDb,
Yeah.
which are great posters, and I want you to tell me if like if it like the size differential and what you think.
Okay.
It's the one on the left where the helicopters are flying to.
Yeah, I just don't. I mean, it's clear that they like tried to make him bigger, but he's still not.
Because like, if
I don't know. It's
Godzilla
hard to
is,
tell.
because if God's in this promotional poster, obviously it's a promotional poster, so they're making Godzilla seem big for the sake of the poster. But
Yeah.
like in the movie, he's like traversing the island, so he can't be the
Yeah.
size that he's on the poster because he couldn't. Where the fuck would he sleep?
Yeah.
You know, he would be sleeping on fucking rocks like it was like they're. I don't know.
I don't know.
All right, whatever.
I mean, the thing that makes me know that he's not that big is that, I mean, even in the movies, they stack up helicopters against him, and he's like, he's not that much bigger than the helicopter.
I don't know.
I mean, there's one
excited
point where
for
he's
it.
like holding a helicopter in his hand, and like, I mean, he's clearly bigger than the helicopter, but he's not
Yeah.
a Godzilla size difference.
Maybe they'll say like, oh, in Kong Skull Island, he was still young.
Probably.
In terms of like kaiju like lifespan.
Yeah.
So by the time it got to where Godzilla is,
He's grown up more. Yeah.
He's got bigger. He's grown, and
Maybe.
before he was still a beta. He didn't, you know, but now he's ready to take the alpha spot. So he's gonna fight, and then so who's gonna be the enemy that comes down? They team up against.
It's got to be like Mecha King Ghidorah, man. I'm telling you. They're gonna bring Ghidorah back because fucking Joffrey got his DNA from King of the Monsters, and they're either gonna like just straight up clone Ghidorah, or it's gonna be like a Mecha King Ghidorah type of thing, or they just straight up like make a Mecha Godzilla, which I would also be fucking down for.
I don't get, Zach, why you don't have all the NECA Godzilla figures.
I want to. I remember because I remember when we used to go to conventions a lot more back in high school. There was that one vendor that I would go to, and he always had a bunch of Godzilla figs.
Just go to your Target. Every Target has they released like 12 every variation of Godzilla from all the movies, and the box is like the cover of the movie poster and looks like, I like the way they look. I would never buy them because I mean I would only buy the ones from King of Monsters because the way it looks cool, has like the blue in the back.
Yeah.
The rest of them, like they have the first one, and he looks fucking stupid. You know, he looks fucking goofy. But they're cool. They're good. They're well made figures. You know, it's NECA. They make really good stuff. So that's Gojira versus King Kong.
Yeah.
I want to talk about Evil Dead 4.
Yeah.
Evil Dead 4 is apparently on its way. Has a director and writer. And that it's not going to be about Ash.
Yeah,
and Ash is not going to be
Campbell's not in it. That's so disappointing. I love Bruce Campbell so much.
People are speculating that Campbell will be on the back end.
Probably. I'm sure he'll make like a cameo or something like that.
Yeah, maybe. But it's going to be about somebody else. And at first, I thought, you know what? I don't care. Like, I don't know. But then I thought, you know what? I'm actually fine with it because I don't necessarily need Ash for the Evil Dead universe. And I got that from Ash versus Evil Dead.
Right.
Where the backup characters, the sidekick kind of characters, I enjoyed them. So I'm perfectly fine with not having... I'm fine with Ash like retiring and going off into the sunset and having a list of a new batch of hunter people. I'm fine with that, you know. I don't know if I would call it Evil Dead 4. Maybe I'll call it something else.
Well, the problem is they fucking used their reboot opportunity with Evil Dead, I believe.
Yeah, and that movie blew.
Yeah.
I hated that movie.
Yeah.
One, it was scary as shit.
I remember listening to Jay talk about it, and he liked it, or he hated it for the opposite reason. He thought it wasn't scary.
Well, we can't compare
That's
Fucking
true.
Red Letter Media is Jay because he fucking likes some scary. He likes stupid ass shit. He likes
He
scary
lo-
shit.
he loves stupid ass shit.
I
That's for sure.
hate that stuff. So to me, that movie was fucking. Because the first movie's not scary at all. Like the original movie's campy as fuck.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
obviously it's a scarier movie than Evil Dead
Right.
2. I just watched Evil Dead 2 not even like a month and a half ago.
Mhm.
Because it's the first movie but better, but retold
Right.
and campier and goofier and all that stuff. So I don't know if I would watch this in theaters, but I'll check it out when it's out on on home release.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
what do you want to hit next? James Bond or
Um.
Tenet?
I mean, James Bond probably.
Okay.
I still can't believe that it's. I'm just glad it didn't get pushed back further. I mean, it's coming out. It's coming out on November 20th now, 2020, instead of November 25th. They moved it up. They made it take Godzilla's spot, which is bullshit.
Because the original release that was what, April?
Yeah, it was already supposed to be out. Like we should have.
April
If
10th.
in a non-C virus world, we should have already seen it.
This is supposed to be his last movie, right?
Yeah, this is his last. Well, I don't know. I assume it's going to be because he's just too old now. But they said that about the last fucking movie that he did too. So I don't know. I assume this would actually be his last one though. Because I mean, at this point, he's had a solid. I think this will be his fifth one, which is pretty solid for a James
Hey.
Bond. It's about average.
Give me a solid vamp real quick.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, give me like a minute.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's him doing a solid 5 film run of James Bond, which I mean, compared to other James Bonds, is I mean pretty average. I mean, Pierce Brosnan did about I think 5 or 6. Sean Connery did, I think 5 or 6 movies. So I mean, I think the average to do James Bond movies is like 5 or so movies. I mean, the problem is that you've got, I mean, not the problem, but I mean, you've got Timothy Dalton, who did like, he was a fucking madman, so he did like fucking 7 or 8 or some fucking nonsense like that. Like he did like way more than anybody else. But I mean, I don't know. I assume this will be his last one. I'm excited to see it. I wish I could have already fucking seen it. I wish we didn't live in this C virus time where I don't already have this movie in my hands, because I should have already seen it. Should have already said that how much I fucking love it, because it's Cary Fukunaga and he can do no fucking wrong as far as I'm concerned. But I don't know. It's
Sorry.
rough, man.
I've noticed my excitement for this movie just slowly just decrease.
That's the problem, is that I had my excitement like jacked up, and now it's gotten to the point where it's like, until we brought this up, I forgot the fact that it was even coming out.
Yo, really?
Because I mean, other than the delay, they haven't really talked about it. Which I mean,
I think
I
also
get-
too is like
I feel like that's
noticed,
kind of a good thing, but
I think also too for me it's the fact that like I feel like every other Craig movie has been good, and I'm kind of just over it. Like
yeah,
he's over it clearly, Daniel Craig.
clearly, yeah.
I'm over it now. I don't know who they're going to do next, and also how long do you think they should wait before they come back with a new Bond?
I
'Cause
mean, they did.
What was the gap between Brosnan and Craig?
It wasn't that long. It was only like 4 years.
Let's see, last
Because Die Another Day was 2002.
Bond movie. 2002, right? And then Casino Royale is what, 2006?
Yeah. So I mean, it
Royale
wasn't that
was
much of
2006.
a
So 4 years, yeah.
yeah, it wasn't that much of a jump. I mean, the bigger jump was fucking between Quantum of Solace and Skyfall, where nobody even thought James or Daniel Craig was even playing Bond anymore because it'd been so long since a Bond movie.
But who? And we've talked before about this ad nauseum. Like, I don't know who they pick. I don't know how long they should wait. I don't know what story they're gonna tell. I don't. Because at this point, like, you can't go backwards in terms of style. Like,
Yeah.
Bond has to be the Jason Bourne kind of Bond now. You can't go back to being classic style Bond, which is just a slow, uninteresting fighting, and you can't have
Yeah.
that anymore. He
Yeah.
can't be the womanizing character of the 70s, late 60s, even
Right.
the 80s. He can't be that anymore. so he has to be the action star, which I prefer that version of Bond. I like
Yeah.
action movies more, obviously. I don't know. They're going to pick someone like. I honestly would be like, dude, fucking Scott Adkins would be fucking.
Scott Adkins would be good. I just
But he's
don't know.
40. But he's also 40.
He's 40, and he's also, I don't know. He's not the greatest actor. As far
No,
as
he's
I'm
not. But
concerned.
he's a fucking.
But he's a
cool ass
solid
martial
action
artist.
star. Yeah, he's a sick ass martial artist for sure. And I love watching him do stunts and do all of his movies where he's able to actually get in there and like
Yeah.
do some cool ass shit. But I don't know. I don't know who they would pick, honestly. I don't know. I mean, if it was like, like 5 or 6 years ago, I would have said Idris Elba, but I feel like Idris Elba's too old now.
He's too old now. He can't do that. This goes back to our same dilemma about Blade.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I would love to have, because the Venn diagram of great actor, but also can do physical, like
It's a very small group.
small
of people.
window, and you can't. And if you cut around it too bad, it looks too. The fight scenes look like crap.
Yeah.
If you cut around it too much.
Fucking, what is it? Born Ultimatum, where it's like cut after cut after
well,
cut.
you get Bourne movies in general, which is just
Yeah.
like steady cam or no motion camera of too close scenes, and you can't tell the fuck's going on. That looks bad.
Yeah.
It looks bad. So I'd have no idea, but postponing it and then reeling it back in. I mean, I don't care.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Tenet though? Huh?
It makes sense. I still don't. I honestly think it's going to get delayed again.
So
because I
Tenet
just don't.
is delayed
'cause
from the 17th of July to the 31st.
Yeah, I just still don't know how many theaters are going to be open because now we're at the point where, I mean, I personally don't care, but now we're getting to the point where it's like you're starting to see spikes in cases again, and now I just don't know. I feel like a lot of businesses are starting to get scared again, and I don't know if July 31st is going to be soon enough. I want it to be. I want movie theaters to be back open so I can go out there and start watching cool shit in the theaters again, but I don't know if that's going to be soon enough. I don't know if that's going to be enough for people to not be scared of this stupid disease anymore and to allow, people to go back out and be in a movie theater. I don't know. I mean, I feel like if they have good plans in place, I really don't think it'll matter that much. But it's also, I don't know, it's weird because it's also just not on the business owner because you also have to think about, are people actually going to, if you do open up, are people actually going to come in and watch movies again? Because, I mean, we would, but we're not the majority of America, so
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, half your audience or the older people aren't going to make the risk.
No.
So, but also I just don't care. Like I'll see it eventually.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it. Like I mean, I have to see it in theaters. That's a fact.
Yeah.
It's a Christopher Nolan movie, so it's gonna have to be in theaters. Obviously, it's
Right.
just that like between 17th and 31st, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
it's not that big of a difference.
yeah, it's not big of a difference, and I would like it to be. Obviously, I want theaters to be open, but I don't want them to open up just to fail.
Right. Yeah.
We already see AMC like
AMC's already said that they're done.
like they're on like they're beyond the lifeline. There's no like what can they do left except for get government bailout,
Yeah.
Or if like every actor was like, here's $1 million, that still wouldn't help.
Yeah.
Still wouldn't save them. So
No.
yeah.
I'm sure they're like, they're way worse off than that. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, that's that. Real quick, just blaze through these fast real quick before we get to the big topics.
Yes.
The big topic. DC Black Label, which is essentially Vertigo now,
Yes.
is doing a new Hellblazer title. There's already a Hellblazer book in the main line. I don't care.
It's weird that they're back to this thing where they're doing. I just don't get the. I guess. I mean, I get the significance of the Black Label, but I just rather would just see like
I think
a regular
it's been really,
comic series.
The Black Label to me has been really irrelevant. It's been really
Yeah.
irrelevant. Like, of all the stuff that's come out on it, I like a couple things. The material that they use to print is fantastic. The books are fantastic in terms of like how they look. They're oversized, so that's a problem. But they look great, feel great, and a couple of stories are good. The questions have been really good, people like the Harley Quinn story from Black Label. I don't care.
Right.
The Curse of the White Knight stuff has been really good, but that's standard size issue.
Yeah.
The I don't need two Hellblazers, because Hellblazer is not like Batman where I want two stories. Like I just tell me the Hellblazer story in the main Hellblazer book.
Yeah.
Obviously the Black Labels where they can they can push the boundaries more, but like it's Hellblazer. If you can't do that in the main line, don't do Hellblazer then.
Yeah.
Because Hellblazer has always been a Vertigo book, and then when they took away Vertigo and put them on the main line, well, then you're starting to fucking, censor what Hellblazer has done or can do, and that makes John Constantine not as John Constantine. The whole point, he's this British guy who fucking tricks demons and fucking gory and smokes cigarettes and all this kind of shit. So,
yeah.
And in the current mainline book, I've liked. It's on issue 6. I buy it every month still. I enjoy it. I like it. The art's great. The story's cool. Mm-hmm. It's part of the Neil Gaiman Sandman verse kind of thing.
Yeah.
Magic verse, if you want to call it that. But I don't know. I'll probably buy it. I mean,
yeah.
I'll probably buy it. I mean, if it's at my comic book shop, I'll probably buy it. Who knows? It's Hellblazer. I read everything Hellblazer, so.
Yeah.
Do you want to touch on this Yakuza and this Mortal Shell stuff before we get to the PS5 stuff, or do you want to skip those?
Let's just do PS5 stuff.
Okay.
Because, I mean, the Yakuza stuff kind of fits in there, and the Mortal Shell is just... It's an interesting trailer, but, I mean, it's just Dark Souls with a different concept.
Yeah.
It's Dark Souls with an interesting concept, but...
It's Dark Souls. It's like, to me, it looks like Mortal Shell...
It's like, have you ever played Warframe?
Yeah.
It's like Dark Souls plus like Warframe, where you've got like different bodies with different abilities. It's online in the same way that it's not like an MMO.
Okay.
Like it's online in the same way that Dark Souls is.
Okay. I thought you were saying like it's online. But
like the
Warframe.
Concept of Warframe of
gotcha.
Like different bodies have different abilities and you can take over different bodies and do different.
To me, like visually, to me it looks like Dark Souls but with Blasphemous. Or whatever that game was called.
Yeah.
It looks like that kinda. Not as grimy and darky and berserky, but looked kind of like it.
Mm-hmm.
More westerny kind of night stuff.
Yeah.
Yakuza, it's RPG now.
That was the only thing that I was going to talk about. I like that they're doing the RPG aspect to it. I think it's interesting.
I mean, I've been keeping up to date with it since they announced it.
This is the first time I'd seen it.
Oh, really? Okay.
This system from it, yeah.
Yeah, they've released a couple of 20-minute gameplay stuff here and there the last couple 6 months, 8 months.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been interested in it. Yeah, once they said that was going to be an RPG, I was like, yeah, this is what Yakuza needs. Like, it's a whole different thing.
Yeah, it's like a whole
thing.
different game. Yeah.
And it's going to change the way that I play the game. It changes the way you can take the same system, the same core of the game in terms of like assets, and you can just make it a whole new fucking game, and that's awesome. I'm down with it.
Yeah.
So our main topic of news and of the show is the PS5, PlayStation 5 event. What do they call it? What was the name of this event?
It was I think it was called the PS5 reveal.
Okay, so it's the PS5 reveal.
Yeah.
Conference thing where Sony came out. Excuse me, and just showed a bunch of shit for PS5.
Showed a bunch of games.
Game trailers.
Yeah.
They obviously showed... Let's start with the... I want to start with the actual design of the console. Okay. And what do you think? How do you feel? Especially in comparison to the Xbox... Whatever the fuck the Xbox is called.
I like it. Overall, just aesthetically, I like it more than the Xbone. I don't like
the Xbox, the next one?
The next one is called the Series X.
Okay,
that's what it's called.
Terrible.
I don't like that design. It looks like a fucking fridge. I don't like it. I think it looks weird.
Did you see the meme? You see the meme that said?
I do enjoy about both systems. There have been memes aplenty.
I saw a meme that was on one of my Facebook groups. It was like, hey, what are y'all gonna buy? The mini fridge or the Wi-Fi modem?
Oh yeah, the
The
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi
It
modem.
was like the shit where after the event go down, I was on Twitter and it was like every other meme was like somebody with like their Wi-Fi router and like got the fucking early access to the PS5.
Dude,
Baby.
I saw a TikTok where a guy's like, "Yo, I got the PS5 early," and he put his PS2 in between a white binder. I was like, dude, it looks pretty close.
Yeah.
I think it looks dumb.
You know that you don't like it?
I think it looks really dumb. I think if when they eventually have the all black version,
Yeah.
I'll be happier.
I think the two tones, it's definitely weirder. I think it'd all be better as like one color or like just a different color,
or even like black, like it was black and like a gunmetal gray or something. Like it would look better to me than a stark black and a stark white.
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
But in terms of actual design, I'm fine with the design. I'm fine with the controller.
Yeah, the controller looks cool. I'm digging all the stuff that they're doing with it. I like the I like the design of the system overall.
What's the retail price? 600?
They haven't said yet.
Haven't said yet.
People are speculating it's going to be 600.
It has to be.
I think if they want to be because the Xbox has already said that theirs is going to be like, I think they said theirs is going to be like 400. So if they want to be competitive,
whoa. Xbox is going to be $400?
I thought that they were going to be $399.
Is it?
Hold on. Xbox Series X. Because they already said their price. I'm pretty sure.
Hold on. I didn't see this before. Look that up though. At PS5's launch, this is from the PS blog. We will offer two options: a PS5 with the Ultra HD Blu-ray disc drive and a PS5 digital edition without a disc drive.
Yes.
You have to get the disc drive one.
I don't know, man. I mean, the only reason I want the disc drive is for Blu-rays because I still buy Blu-rays. But as far as like games are concerned, I haven't bought an actual physical game since like Persona 5.
Tell you what, I only buy physical games except for one time, which was
I buy digital games all the time.
I only buy physical games unless I'm lazy, and then I buy a ton of 4K Blu-rays.
Yeah.
And I already have a 4K Blu-ray player, obviously, but like this makes it even easier.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't have a Blu-ray player, so that would be the only reason for me to get it is because I would want the disc drive for the actual Bluray player. But as far as games, like I buy all my games digital, so that's not really a concern for me.
I wonder what they're going to do for the price difference, like $60 maybe, $50.
I feel like it's probably going to be less. I feel like it's probably going to be like $100 difference. I would probably say. I would say it'd be like the difference between like, because I mean, you already see the similar thing with the Nintendo Switch, where you have the actual console that's like, I think it's like 300, isn't it? And the Switch Lite is like 200.
But I wouldn't consider the PS5 no disc edition a light version. I just consider it no disc, right? Because I guess technically you can put more shit in it, right? Because it has no disc drive.
Probably, yeah. I would assume it's going to have a bigger
hard drive capacity, or
hard drive capacity.
I don't know anything about fucking tech stuff. I'm just guessing.
I would hope if it's only digital that it would have a bigger hard drive capacity.
What was the Xbox
But maybe that
Series
would mean
1?
it costs more.
What was the Series 1 price? Did you find it?
I didn't find it because I was wrong. I thought they had announced it, but they didn't.
Okay, they haven't done it yet.
So.
They're probably waiting for PS4 to do the same thing.
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't know. I feel like the price is gonna, because Xbox still has another event that they're doing, which is their third-party reveal stuff, which I think is supposed to be like in July sometime. I feel like they'll probably announce the price there. I don't know when Sony's gonna do it because I don't think Sony's having another event. I think this was like their big thing, so I don't know when they're planning on making their price known because they didn't do their what was it called? Their mini conference that they did instead of E3 that they normally do during November. But like November is too late for you to reveal the price because that's already holiday season, baby. Like you need to have the price out before then. Gotta make sure people can save money and shit.
Controller design. I mean, I'm fine with the controller. I mean,
I like the controller design.
What do you? So that's the console. I really. How much money does it get price wise before you say, you know what?
I honestly couldn't spend more than like $500 on it. That would be the most. And even then, it's like I'm thinking real hard about whether or not I want to spend $500 on it or not.
Like,
especially at launch. Like
at
for me,
launch,
it's like I really don't. I usually don't buy things at launch anyways, and so it's
Yeah,
like
neither do I.
this would be probably one of the ones where I would think about it, but like if it's more than $500, and be like, no, I'll just wait because there's not even anything that good at launch that I would want to play anyways.
It was Spider-Man, right?
Spider-Man would be about the only thing.
The only thing I would
Because
want.
anything else that was revealed is not going to be except for Ratchet and Clank. But I mean, Ratchet and Clank is not going to make me buy a PS5 launch.
So I have a couple questions, concerns about PS5 launch. But I agree. If it's $500, I mean, I get that's kind of where we're going at for console prices, so I get it.
Yep.
At that point, maybe I should just buy a computer, But like, so,
Yeah.
$500, whatever. But at launch, the only way I would buy it at launch is if one, Cyberpunk came out with a up-resed version. Only
I assume
way.
that they're going to do the I would hope that Cyberpunk has the similar thing that they have with the new Xbox, where it's like if you buy it for whatever, you get an automatic free upgrade for the next generation.
Between Cyberpunk release in September and like 4 months later being the release of the PS5, like that's the only reason I would buy a PS5 at launch is to get Cyberpunk in whatever that 4K, whatever the fuck that system, whatever that is. Because to me,
8K or some shit like that.
Because to me, so we're getting at launch, we're getting Spider-Man 5 or Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
And Ratchet. Now my question is this.
Yeah.
Both of those games are from the same studio.
It's true.
So, when did Spider-Man come out? The first one, 2 years ago.
2018, I think.
So you're telling me within 2 years, this studio had two different divisions, A and B.
Actually, it might have been 2019. No, it was 2018.
So you're telling me in 2 years. 2 years.
Well, but what I've seen, Miles Morales is not like Spider-Man PS4 size. It's more like it's more the size of like the Uncharted Lost Legacy, the Chloe and whatever game that came out, where it was like a $40 standalone game, but it's not like a full-fledged AAA.
So are they marketing it as a full game or not?
They're marketing it as, from what I've seen, they're marketing it as an expansion.
Because to me, I felt like they're trying to say that it was just a full experience.
Hold on.
Spider-Man Miles Morales is a PS5 a standalone game.
Oh.
Insomniac confirms Spider-Man Miles Morales is a standalone PS5 game. Now that's my issue is like you're telling me in 2 years, 2.5 years of development, which takes studios 5 years to make a game, you have this game, whole new game, ready, and your studio is split in half building the other game, Ratchet and Clank. So that makes me think that the game necessarily won't be bad because it's gonna be pretty much 90% of the game is just gonna be Spider-Man 1. The city's gonna be the same city.
Yeah.
Same, maybe a couple different acrobatical, motion cap stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, different voice actor, different suits, but like.
Will be smaller than a traditional console game, but will be sold as a standalone product. So so it's like the Lost Legacy size of game.
That's the worst thing I've heard all day.
Yeah.
Is, hey, by the way, it's not a full game, but we're gonna sell it as a full game.
Well, I don't think they're gonna sell it in the fact that it's not gonna be $60. I imagine it's probably gonna be like $30 to $40.
It would have to be for anyone who has a brain to be like.
Yeah. Well, that was what they did with Lost Legacy, where they were like, it's a spin-off to Uncharted, but it's not $60 because I think when Lost Legacy came out, it was like $40.
Yeah, something like that. This was such a clearly a Sony being like, hey, give us Miles.
Yeah, give us like anything.
Give us Miles for holiday launch so that we can sell more systems.
Yeah.
That'd be like if like Microsoft was like, hey, Bungie or 343, like give us a Spartan story, but not
that
John.
The thing. Well, we already saw that happen with Microsoft, where they fucking did that shit with Killer Instinct, where they're like, give us anything that you have for launch, even if it's 2 characters, we'll put it out. Right. So, not that studios haven't done this shit before.
But Spider-Man, I mean, it looks like
Spider-Man. Looks good.
It looks good.
It looks like Spider-Man. Looks like fun. I had fun with Spider-Man PS4. I'm sure I'll have fun with Miles Morales.
How do you feel about Ratchet?
I don't know because I actually haven't played the PS4 Ratchet, so I haven't played Ratchet and Clank since PS2. Up Your Arsenal, I think, was the last time I played.
Last one I played was
Ratchet.
Ratchet and Clank 2. Was that Reloaded or Loaded?
I think it was Reloaded.
It's okay. Ratchet and Clank 2.
Up Your Arsenal,
No,
I think. Was...
I played Going Commando. Is what it's called. Going Commando.
Yeah, because Up Your Arsenal was after that.
2003. Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
I had never really had any love for this game. I don't think it was bad. It was fun.
I enjoy it. I think it's fun. I enjoy the. I think the biggest thing about it is the weapon loadouts and the interesting takes that they have on different weapons with like the fucking sheep gun, and I think in the PS4 one they had like a disco ball or some shit like that. So it's the creativity of the weapons is probably like its biggest selling point. But it's like I've never been a huge fan of like story.
This goes back to this game is the equivalent of what I was saying about Bill and Ted, which is like this is like one of those like not serious like probably middle of the road pack money cost wise games that are just the platformer, the Sly Cooper, the Jack and Daxters, like those.
It's funny though because they only do this because I'm pretty sure PS4 Ratchet was also a launch title, so I feel it's like they're only doing them as launch titles.
Well, I guess probably because they're easier to make than like a Spider-Man, you know, like I'm assuming, you know.
I would assume so, yeah.
Anthropomorphic little characters, and they're goofy, like they're fun, like.
Yeah, I was highly disappointed though because honestly, when we first were watching that trailer, I thought it was gonna be a new Jack and Daxter, and I wanted it so bad.
You know,
I wanted it so fucking bad.
What game I never played on PS2, but they're doing the remaster of that I really want to play is that Alien game.
Oh yeah, Destroy All Humans.
Yeah, when's that come out?
That. I don't remember.
Because I know
it looked good though. I remember they did a walkthrough like a couple of months ago. I was like, "Fuck, this looks good."
I never played it before, but I really want to play it because it looks really fun.
Yeah, it looks super fun.
July 28th.
Wow, really? That soon?
Yeah. Well, what the fuck time? When does fucking Tsushima come out? July 17.
Yeah, so it's like the week.
That's too far away, dude.
Week or two before that. Tsushima, I can't wait. I want it already, dude. I want Tsushima in my hands. I was like looking at my PS4 the other day, and I was like, I don't want to play any of this shit. I just want to play Ghosts.
I don't even have my PS4 set up yet in my new house. First of all, I want a figure of this guy.
Yeah.
And I want this game to be out already so I can play it. I'm so excited for this game.
Yeah, that's all I want. I want this, and then after that, once I beat that, I'll want Cyberpunk, and that's
exactly. It. Ratchet looks fun. I mean, they all look the same kind of to me.
Yeah.
I guess the other big one of that list. We can hit all the stuff in the list if you want to, but the one that everyone was talking about months ago was Ghostwire Tokyo?
Yeah, Ghostwire Tokyo.
I remember that initial drop trailer from, was it E3 or something, or however long
ago it was?
E3
2018, I think? 2019, 2018?
People were
that original drop trailer was fucking dope. I love that fucking trailer.
Was it the trailer, or was this the one that had the Asian lady who was like super excited?
Well, people got excited about her because of her personality, but I was actually legitimately excited for the game because I thought it looked rad as shit.
Because I didn't care about the Asian lady, but cool, whatever. And then the trailer to me for this game, the first one, I also didn't care about. And then seeing the gameplay, I still don't care about it. I don't. It looks like a really, how do I phrase this? It reminds me of Suda 51 in the sense that like the art style is like unique. It's not cel shaded or anything like that, but like it's interesting art style. But also like the world just feels so empty to me.
Yeah, I think that was probably the biggest thing when watching the trailer. Yeah, that it just feels like there's not a lot going on in it, which is strange. But maybe there's a particular reason for that. But I don't know.
To me, in 2020, especially for next generation games, we're so past the point of Spider-Man PS1 of, hey, there's toxic gas in the city, so you can't fall down because if you do, you get poisoned. So you have to stay above on the rooftops. Like that to me is like, that's a cheat to not have to build the rest of the cities, which I'm fine with in 1990 8 or whatever the fuck. But in
Right.
2020, like the game just seems so stiff from this
Mm.
trailer to me. The gameplay seems so like not interesting. The
Mm.
atmosphere looked cool, like the ghost stuff looked cool,
Yeah.
but the gameplay to me, I wasn't really impressed with it. I know you liked it though, right?
Um, I mean, I was fine with it. Honestly, I was disappointed by the gameplay because I thought it was going to be like a third-person
Oh,
adventure.
right.
I thought it was going to be like a third-person action game, and so the fact that it was first-person, I don't know. It didn't really feel like that was kind of where. It's not really where I saw that world going. I thought it was
Mm-hmm.
going to be more of like a Witcher type of thing,
Oh,
but
right,
like
yeah.
but in like modern Tokyo with like ghosts and shit like that, which I would have been fucking down for. But it seems like that's not what they had in mind, or at least that's not what they're going with. But I don't know. I mean, I'm still interested to try and play it out because the world looks super rad, and I don't know. I'm interested in it. But I'm definitely not excited for it as I was before, for sure.
Talk about Solar Ash and then Project Athea and the Bridges. I didn't watch these.
So Solar Ash is interesting to me. There really wasn't too much gameplay from it, but it's from the same people that did Hyper Light Drifter.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah,
I
I did see part of this. Okay, yeah,
and
yeah.
I fucking love Hyper Light Drifter, and this game looks like it's gonna have that same type of visual style. So you really don't know what the game's gonna be about. You don't know what kind of game it's gonna be, but it's from that studio, and the visuals look fucking rad. So I'm for it there. Um, and then
Okay.
Project Athia, there really isn't too much with it. It's Square Enix's next game, I guess, which is not Final Fantasy, I guess, because they've called it this other thing. But I mean, the visuals look cool. It looks like there's cool like magic shit, and you got some fucking free running stuff where she's like running on cliffs and shit, and she's like making roots of trees like appear out of the ground and like strangling enemies and stuff like that. And you've got some cool visuals of like some weird like open-hearted dragon at the end. So, I mean, the game sold me on like what it looks like, but I mean, Maximilian made a great point, which is the game said the trailer said first of all it said Project Athia, and then it said it wasn't coming out until at least like 2022, and so the game's not coming out according to Max. So that's his cynical opinion, which I mean, I tend to agree with.
I
If your
agree.
trailer says Project whatever, I'm not super convinced that it's coming out anytime soon.
Yeah, I agree. I agree that this game's not gonna come out.
Which is sad because it looks rad. I'm down for it. I feel like
Yeah.
that would be a game that I would like want to play,
That
at
game's
least
not
like
coming out.
visually and from like some of the stuff that they're like
Yeah.
some of the stuff that they're hinting that you could do seemed like it would be super fucking rad. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
I just looked at the trailer. Yeah, it looks cool, but yeah, that game's not coming out.
Yeah, but
God,
the big thing. Oh well, not well. Godfall looked rad, but
look, yeah.
Pragmata was the thing that actually caught my attention.
This is the one. This is Mailman, right?
He's not a mailman. He's a spaceman. He looks like a cross between like Metal Gear Solid and like fucking Death Stranding, but
This game. So I was watching the trailer for this game.
yeah.
Like I went through the live stream. I just reversed the live stream so I could watch, so I could see what was going on. And I was watching this trailer, and I kept saying to myself, "This is an expansion of Death Stranding. This is a Kojima game."
It's actually not because it's fucking Capcom.
Because I'm pretty sure Kojima even has a design for his logo of like a spacesuit guy.
He does look very similar to the Homo Ludens from
Yeah.
Kojima's logo.
And then between like the little the side the side contraption, which like to me reminds me of Death Stranding.
Yeah.
This game, first off, besides the fact that they went for a complete Kojima style trailer,
Yeah.
like, hold on, what's the game called again? Pragmata.
Pragmata.
Okay, Pragmata.
That's from Capcom, baby.
Okay, hold on.
I wanna. It looks rad.
This game has to have Kojima somewhere in this.
He's like hidden in the developing team.
No, like he has to be somewhere. This game looks like a fucking wannabe version of a Kojima game.
It definitely looks like a wannabe Kojima for sure.
I mean, it looks like the hair effects look like Kojima. The suit effects look like Kojima. The falling through the world stuff looks like a Kojima. This is a fucking Hideo Kojima game. I don't care until I see actual gameplay of this game.
Yeah.
Like I don't care. I'm tired. I don't like story trailers for games and I see like actual gameplay stuff.
Hmm.
Um, except there's an exception to that. Always an exception to that. Obviously,
Okay.
because God of War. I'm all about cinematic trailer of God of War. But that Resident Evil 8 trailer
Oh yeah, the Resident Evil trailer
was was awesome,
looked pretty dope. I'm pretty excited
and
for it.
I'll never play it, but it looks rad.
I actually might play that one if it's like vampires and werewolves and shit like that. Like, I'm down for that shit, and I'm
I tell
not
you,
being
man,
chased by like some giant fucking monster. I'd be
it
down for
could.
that.
It honestly, and I don't get it because it's Resident Evil 8, but
Hmm.
Chris looks different. So is it supposed to be like? Because obviously they're
Well,
departing.
in I know from watching a couple of playthroughs of Resident Evil 7 that Resident Evil 7 is basically a soft reboot of the series, and so Chris looks because Chris shows up at the end of 7, and he looks completely different.
Wait, hold on. Okay, so seven is Biohazard. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, but 7
I
is by
thought I thought they titled Resident Evil the first person one just Resident Evil, so they still call that one Resident Evil 7.
yeah
Okay,
they call
then,
it Resident Evil first, but it's Resident Evil
okay,
7.
then yeah, that makes sense then.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, then if they make this game, 'cause it looks partially like Resident Evil 4, like in the town.
Yeah,
So like
it gave me very big Resident Evil 4
yeah, and then
vibes.
like you're in the castle, and then there's like the Victorian era looking like lady, vampire looking ladies. Like
Hmm.
if you were a dude who was like Van
Yeah.
Helsinging it up in this town,
Hmm.
I would only play it if I had ample like
Ample sunlight.
weaponry.
Ah, okay.
Like like if it's like the Order 1886 or whatever the fuck that game was called or
Yeah.
that PS4 game. I never played it, but like if it was like Monster Hunter Resident Evil,
Hmm.
all day. I'll play that shit all day. But if it's like Resident Evil 7 where it's like I'm struggling, I'm walking through this place, I'll watch a Let's Play on YouTube.
Yeah.
Is there a release date for that? Resident Evil 8? Let me see.
I don't think so. Was there?
I don't see one when I googled it. I don't see one. 2021. That's all it is.
Yeah.
This is
So.
the guy with the long hair and the glasses and the hat.
Hmm.
He literally looks like fucking Van Helsing.
He does look like Ian Helsing, but that's not even who you play as.
I know. So he's gonna train you.
Yeah. I guess maybe.
So there's a werewolf looking thing.
Hmm.
Umbrella Incorporation, obviously. There's Chris Redfield, who looks like kind of like the guy from Prison Break, kinda.
He does.
Know.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. Resident Evil needs to die soon. This game looks cool though. This game looks cool. I'm not saying this game looks bad, but like between Resident Evil, the fucking remakes, and then now this, it's like, dude,
Yeah.
how much money is Capcom fucking just making?
They're making fucking boatloads of
Resident-
money every time they release one, dude. People fucking love Resident Evil.
I know,
and
dude.
this
Seriously.
game makes fucking bank.
Goes back to my whole thing from a couple weeks back about horror movies I don't get.
Yeah.
Anything else from PS5 before you want to end the pod?
No, I think we hit all the big stuff. I mean, Godfall looked fucking dope. I don't know. The concept of a slasher looter seems kind of weird. But I'm always down to play fucking action games, and maybe that's the thing that I need is not first-person shooter, but like third-person hack and slash. Maybe that's what I need to get me into like a looter-based game. I don't know.
What do you real quick before we end the podcast?
Hmm.
What are your feelings on Last of Us 2 and if you're gonna get it or not?
I'm not gonna get it.
Okay.
Don't care. I watched. I mean, I was already resigned to the fact that I wasn't gonna get it, but I watched a couple of people's reviews,
Yeah.
and after watching like 3 reviews, I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna get this.
I watched.
It doesn't seem like it's that interesting.
I watched
Everything
Skill
they said
Up's
about the
review.
story- I watched Skill Up's review
And
too.
I don't really watch Skill Up, but I watched
I
their
don't
other
watch
channel.
him too much either. I think I've watched a few of his before, but it was like the moment that fucking killed me, I was like, oh, I'm definitely not buying this. He fucking compared it to Disney Star Wars, and I was like, yep, all right, not buying.
Well, I don't watch Skill Up really. I watch his other channel
Mm.
that he does with his brother. I think it's the same guy. Hold on, let me double check, make sure I'm thinking of the right Australians. Yeah. So Skill Up is an Australian dude.
Mhm.
He has another channel called Layman Gaming, which
Mm.
is about gaming news and updates. It's him and his brother, and they just sit on a camera.
Oh,
on
I
a
watched
couch
their
and-
review too. Yeah,
Yeah.
because somebody in one of my in the last Colin's Last Stand Facebook group linked that review.
So Skill Up is like his more like professional
yeah.
review channel. The Layman Gaming is like his like I'm just talking to my brother about games. So
Yeah.
I watch Layman Gaming more than I watch Skill Up, but I do trust his his whatever
Yeah.
you want to call it, his judgment on stuff. So
Mhm.
I only watched his review, and I was watching it. I didn't even finish it. I had like 5 minutes left, and when the first thing, obviously the fucking default picture was like, this game sucks or whatever the fuck. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, okay. So I click on it.
I think he said I hated playing this game.
Something like that, right? And then like he says in the beginning of the game, which was like, or the review, hey, I can only show you these parts of the game.
Huge fucking red flag.
Which
when I heard that.
And he says in the review also in Skill Up that this is not uncommon. It happens for other games.
Yeah.
But I know, because I'm
Yeah.
not a fucking idiot,
Yeah.
that like other games, if they do it, who knows why? But for this game, I know why.
You know exactly why.
I know exactly why.
Game. Because it's true. Because it's all true.
Because if they had the ability to show this before the embargo, or whatever the fuck, or show it in the official after embargo was over, to show the full story review,
Yeah.
with spoilers,
Yeah.
you know immediately.
Yeah.
Dunzo.
Nobody's buying it.
Dunzo. No one's buying it. I keep seeing on Reddit, people are like, people are starting to get back into Last of Us 2. I go, I don't believe it. I
don't believe these people who say this. And also, I've been getting pushed. I don't know how much you have, but on Instagram and Facebook, I've been getting pushed this game real fucking hard.
I haven't, actually, thankfully.
Sony really wants me to fucking buy The Last of Us Part 2.
I haven't, but after we're done recording, I'm going to watch the Layman Gaming review of it. I haven't watched theirs yet.
It's fine. I mean, his brother doesn't agree with him. I guess they have a third brother that they also have on there. Thick Boy is what he went by. But he's like the middle between the two of them, because
okay.
The one really likes it, and then you have Skill Up who doesn't like it, and then you have the brother in the middle who's like, there are parts that I like, but I definitely see why people don't like it.
Right.
And so, I mean, I still agreed with Skill Up's review the most, because I feel like he's being the most honest. Because every time the other guy was talking about the things that he liked about the game, I was like, you don't like these things.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like, these are not things that people like. These are not things that people enjoy.
Let's be honest. Like, I haven't even played the game. I'm not going to play the game. But the first thing I do when the game comes out is I'm going to go look for the HD 1080p, not bootlegged cutscenes of what I saw before.
Yeah.
And immediately go, yeah.
It was true.
Yeah.
It was all true.
Nah. So, guys, thanks
ready for your
listening.
Golfing Simulator 2020?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the podcast. We'll see you back next week with more License to View. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys.